Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of. Now, everyone's probably wondering right now, Jacob, what the heck are you doing? This is really early, at least for you, anyway. What is that out the window? Is that the sun? Excuse you, since when do you stream when the sun is out? To which the answer is since Aidan and I agreed to stream today at the end of the Music Freaks because obviously the spin-off episode started today and algorithm, but he didn't mention the precise schedule, so I got a message from him after I got back from a walk. I saw a message from him and said like, "Hey, should we do the Music Freaks review now?" It's like, what? Now I need to prepare everything. Like, people don't realize sometimes that, these streams do take some amount of prep time. I'm not going to pretend like, it takes an eternity to set these up, especially because I do them once a day most of the time. But it it can be a little bit. So just while I'm making the thumbnail, doing all the promotion, making sure the stream is actually monetizable at first, which honestly, I don't even know if I even managed to do that part. I get Aidan saying like, "Oh, is it ready? No. Is the stream ready? No." Like, I'll let you know what it is. So yeah, currently I'm still stalling because I need to download the video and put it into Restream. But in the meantime, I guess I can let everyone else be entertained by our guests. Aside from Aidan, we also are joined by Emily today.
Hello, hello.
But of course, our usual guest, Aidan the Best.
Hello, hello. Hello. British sound.
All right, may the stalling begin.
British.
Stalling? I was stalling once. They stalled me in a room, a stall room.
A room with stalls. Bathroom
Guys,
stalls.
I'm unsubscribing to Aidan the Best.
Wow. How dare you?
Speaking of subscribing,
you're cancelled.
This video, because we started this. Why would that be? Speaking of subscribing, how does that? I don't know.
I'm canceling him.
I was going to say
he's canceled.
Yeah, this video is also being streamed on the Butter Bunch, and that is mainly because I'm going to do a full circle thing because we started using Music Freaks episode 1. We actually did, and 1 through 3 actually reviewed on the Butter Bunch itself, and then afterwards, there was like a couple of them were on both channels, and then it went to the main to open up to more people who constantly wanted to be guests, including Emily, but not limited to. There are plenty of others over the years. So that's why. So for full circle purposes, and the subscriber part comes in because. That's currently what we need on the Butter Bunch. We have all the watch hours that we need, and we have quite a lot to spare, in fact. However, yeah, we
need
we
the
don't
subscribers.
Have...
You better subscribe,
exactly.
Or I'll eat
it's
your
the
soul.
Exact opposite problem I had on the main channel, where I had the subscribers and not the watch hours. So we're gonna have to grind subscribers. But yeah, oh, look at that. Only a small percentage of our viewers are subscribed. So go ahead and
I remember doing this in front of Fallen Angel episodes. Listen, okay? Listen, if you're gonna watch, you should subscribe if you like a channel. That's my advice.
This is true.
And
if it is your first video with us today, then subscribe after you've watched the video if you enjoy the content, because we're not here to.
Or subscribe in the middle if you're enjoying it and you see yourself enjoying it in the foreseeable future.
Yep, all of that sounds pretty nice to me. Okay, now I have to actually upload the video into here.
Well, honestly, I think if we reminded people to subscribe more in the Butter Bunch, maybe that would work more.
That's why I just did this call to action. That is literally what I just started doing right now.
Okay, Also, I know you're not a fan of it, but you definitely should recommend people subscribe in the beginning of streams on the Butter Bunch.
Again, I literally just did that right now. This is this is airing on the Butter Bunch
streams. Future streams. Mostly during mostly during
during
Starkid.
Starkid. I was gonna do it during Starkid, but I actually forgot. Like
Don't
yesterday.
worry, I won't forget. I remember everything.
I mean, you were there, but fair enough.
Well, you didn't tell me you're playing. God.
No, yeah, I suppose not. Okay, so
how dare you?
I don't. Yeah, apparently, Prism says I'll switch to here, but I don't know where here was originally versus now. So I'm guessing from one of the.
Hey, Prism, if you have 2 YouTube channels, you should subscribe on both. on the Butter Bunch.
She does. She actually does have 2 accounts.
Yeah, well, you should subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed on both accounts.
Oh my goodness. This is the level of blatant that I'm not usually good at like pushing for. Like a little call to action here or there. You know, that's usually where I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll work into the outro.
Prism is a true homie.
I wouldn't be surprised if Shorty was. Yeah, I was gonna say. There we go. I'm always subscribed on both. There, exactly.
True homie.
Yeah. And notifications, even better. Even better. Thank you very much for that. Okay, we also have Gacha Spring Boy, who just seems to have a radar whenever Emily's on. So there you go. Meow.
Meow. He's stalking me. Please help.
Oh my God.
Good grief. We've had enough stalking accusations recently.
Oh, yeah. God, I forgot about that.
Also, welcome, Fox. And KW, we're going to have a guest. I've got to see a movie, have a new mic too, but until next time, have fun with the stream. Oh, well, there you go. See, the time was off for everyone. I knew I was going to do this today, but not necessarily at this moment. However, I think that we have stalled enough. Let me just check the video storage. And 98, 99, 100. Oh, it's got a process as well, hasn't it? Yes, analyzing.
102.
Analyzing, processing.
751.
Yeah. This is the part that you don't see. This is why I need prep time.
Yeah,
a lot of time when I start streams late, it's because the prep time is still prepping.
I blame you.
That's usually why I start late streams.
I'm not the one nagging Jacob. Is the stream done yet? Is the stream done yet? Are we there yet?
I said it. I asked him once.
Are we there
yet? What I was saying right now is mostly the general audience, because the general audience nag me all the time about that. And I'm just saying that's why that happens.
Also, I've been playing Pokerogue, and I got a shiny Skeletor finally. Yay!
Shiny Skeletor?
Yeah! Skeledirge. He's like this Day of the Dead ghost crocodile, fire crocodile. Evolves from
Sure, He-Man! Anyway.
You guys want to know a fun fact?
Please. It's at 8% right now, so we need fun facts.
On my 13th birthday, which most people had forgotten, and I was really sad about it, and I wasn't having a good day. I get a message from Aidan, and I'm like, oh my God, Aidan's wishing me a happy birthday.
Oh, come on.
Aidan, hi, can you start on the thumbnail for episode 1 of Fallen Angels, season 2, episode 1 today?
What? Okay, I didn't know it was your birthday at that time. I'm not good at dates.
I only had a birthday cake in my status. I only typed on multiple
I'm oblivious!
That could, in all fairness, that could also mean that you're celebrating someone else's birthday, but more likely it is going to be your own.
I'm oblivious, okay? Listen, I'm oblivious. I would have wished you a happy birthday if I knew.
Honestly, I would probably have my channel's birthday.
On the 1st of April.
Do what I do and announce it.
The 1st of April?
It was in my bio. I had a countdown in my bio. Kept going, it's my birthday, and
I don't read people's bios
I'm
normally.
Pretty sure there was a stream for my birthday.
Yep, well, most likely.
And then you still wished me a happy birthday.
Pretty sure it's one of the Nightmare of Lives. I forget if Aidan was on that stream or not, but yeah, we did do a Nightmare of Lives.
I don't know if I was busy that day or not. I don't know what was going on with me during that time. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes with me, stuff happens randomly and I get busy or
Yeah,
unbusy.
it's fine. Stuff happened last year on your birthday. Was why your birthday stream got delayed until this year. And boy,
Yes,
was that a fun time. If people haven't seen that video,
it was cray cray.
it was cray cray. People wonder why we haven't made more Drama Club episodes. That's the same crew we make Drama Club with. You can see why we we need to isolate a lot of time. We see like a whole day, just like a whole shooting day for everything.
I don't think we've even recorded Drama Club in a
We-
year.
No, we
yeah,
haven't.
yeah. Okay, listen, we'll bring it back eventually.
No way. You said that
Yeah.
last time.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you still have episode 3, so there's still something else for people to look forward to on your end.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Emily,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to call you tomorrow or Monday or some one of those days because I want to record a Fallen Angels mini game. I want to bring that back.
Okay.
Fair enough. It's not a birthday that day, so that's fair.
It's not what.
I'm just bringing this back full circle, you know.
What? Okay. Right.
30% still. How long is this video? Jeez. Oh, it's 43
40
minutes.
minutes.
Okay,
Stalling.
that explains
Activate.
it.
Again. For the third time.
Aidan, use stall. That's a Pokemon move
Yeah, I might just
or ability. I forget.
yeah, I might just have to do screen share for right now, just to just because I know that Aidan has to leave in like an hour. So
Yay!
Imagine.
Imagine having a job, Emily. Huh? Imagine actually being able to imagine making money. Imagine, Emily.
I'm pretty sure I get more pocket money than you make in a day, and also legally I'm not allowed to have a job.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Well,
have the fancy number.
wait. Illegally, you're not allowed to have a job. How does that work? So it's
no,
can't hire
legally,
you.
she's not not.
No,
Legally.
you said
Say
illegally to have a job.
She didn't
so
say illegally.
I heard it.
Legally, I'm not allowed to have a job. I don't have the fancy number.
What's the fancy number?
So if someone did hire me, they would get in trouble and they'd have to pay me under the table. And I'm still pretty sure I make more money than you do in a day. From
Also,
pocket money alone.
You should react to my reaction instead, says Prism. I didn't know you had a reaction of your own. We'll have to see that at some point. We'll watch that off camera, like, you know, just like us as people.
We're not people right now.
What's a person?
Moving on. Okay, we're going to start like this. Just making sure there's nothing else in the chat before I begin. The Prism clearly has some regrets after that last suggestion. So we're gonna just let's her ruminate in that. And without further ado,
speaking of regrets and sadness, on with this episode.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh, I
Fair
thought
enough.
you were talking about me.
Dang.
Oh, flying birds outside and masking already. Liking this. Slight
Haley.
filter at the tip of the glass. And yes, also
Haley.
sadness. Okay.
Sadness.
So if people remember from last episode, we saw the text messages from Jake's perspective, from his phone, and now we see, I'm pretty sure, the exact same text message from Haley's phone. Nice that there's like a different color scheme entirely.
Can we talk about the profile picture?
He's so edgy.
He's emo.
Actually, yeah, that's a very good point. Why is his hair like that? I think that might have been like retextured by Haley herself or something.
There's probably a filter. You know, like one of the Snapchat filters. Probably something like that.
Is there an emo
Maybe.
Snapchat filter?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing.
No way.
There's all kinds of weird filters on Snapchat.
I will say, you know, Snapchat, a lot of Snapchat filters would look better on Gacha account than they do on actual humans.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
God, the dog one's scary.
yeah, the dog one would actually kind of work on a Gacha character, not on a person. And I should know because my cousin's stolen my phone several times to take pictures of me with Snapchat filters. But that's a topic for another day. So I think this is a new message, by the way.
No, I think
so,
it's the same message.
No, this
well, I know
one's
the one above I remember, but this one particularly, I'm not sure. Kind of reminds me of a few people. It's like, oh yeah, you know. Forgive me for what happened. Please watch my videos again. Not naming names.
Also, Haley, what emoji are you been texting people? I mean, that's kind of inappropriate.
I said this last time. This looks like a messenger. If it's a messenger, you have to personally set that emoji. Why do they both have it set to that emoji?
Well, you see,
What
they have to have something in common besides music.
They like peaches.
They are delicious.
Yeah.
Anyone else like the flat
Haley is so relatable, says Ken's. Relatable how? By doing what you're doing right now?
Relatable? I was relatable once. They locked me in a room. A
like,
relatable room.
Because his hair looks like a peach.
Aidan,
Not in the profile
relevant,
picture, it doesn't. I mean, in reality, yes. But if that's the joke, I'm surprised you didn't like lead into that and put that filter on his face.
Oh my god. No, she just changes his hair to a peach. Just put a
Here's
giant
what Jake is called a peach by the fandom. Okay. I'm not going to question that.
Sense, but still, like, the implications are they purposely set a peach emoji and they constantly just send that to each other because that's the like emoji.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously this series in universe took place over like, I don't know, like a few months or so, but actually over a few years. Maybe if it was actually took place in 2023, this was a reference to the Mario movie. Just the Peaches song.
I do like Haley's reflection of the phone though. Like you can see how.
Oh yeah, there's a slight reflection.
He's a peach simp in the fandom. That's what we call him. Again, not gonna question it.
I guess.
That's because it's air.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't want.
To talk. Something. Anyway. Not a song.
You really did mean what you said. Meet me in the.
Haley, are you up?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say me in the club right now for some reason. That's what I felt in my brain.
Yeah, she's in her bed. Also, I like the fact that she's under a blanket, like just the way it's positioned.
She just says, "Meet me in the club right now. She'll be there in 5 minutes." Oh no! We get like the whole like rushed getting ready for the day montage you usually have, like frantically brushing her hair, just like toothbrush halfway in her mouth. Anyway.
Yeah, Dad's made fry up for you.
Also, I'm going to appreciate the isometric rhythm where we put the text in that perspective onto masking into the phone. I got learned to do that actually. That's one of my next thing to look into.
And all of these moments
Oh no, Xander! Oh, you don't want to be pausing directly to him. Go through everyone else first.
There's something that feels so big, and all that
I wish I had that. I had that once. My peach
Actually,
turned out
she
to be
didn't.
sour and rotten at the core.
Actually, she didn't have that specific.
I lost something once.
I loved something once. It was a peach. Now I'm allergic to peaches.
Okay.
I don't think that's how allergies work.
What, you have
can
one
develop certain allergies, but
you have one bad experience with a thing, and then you can't eat
That's not
anymore?
what an allergy is.
That's totally.
Guys, I'm allergic to Aidan now.
Yay! No, just kidding.
I lose my head.
So edgy music. I'm the angst. The gravel sound effects.
Don't tell me he's still messaging you. No.
Every now and then.
He stopped.
Good. Looks like he finally got the hint.
I like how he didn't say got the message because already had to use that word in the script. This is something I talk about a lot of the time when I see people's scripts in Gacha. Sometimes people will use too many words in repeated fashion that will look clumsy in general dialogue. Or I guess in real life you would probably say them repeatedly like that, but when it's like a work of fiction, it's one of the things to look out for. So that's probably what happened in the scripting process. I could just imagine rosyclozy revising the script and being like, got the message. Nope. Just delete. Got the hint. There we go.
Haley, please don't tell me you're still thinking about forgiving him.
Just saying,
After all that
you're so bad at comforting her. Like, regardless of how you feel about the situation, she's taking it very hard, and you acting like this right now isn't helping, and you're just gonna end up making her more upset. And it's like, dude, try to comfort her. I know you're upset, but you also need to actually make her feel better about the whole thing. Or at least make
We've
her
all collectively
feel...
agreed that Xander is just the worst in every situation.
Yeah, like, again, in this
Krabby
situation
said-
where I could understand a lot of Xander's anger, it doesn't matter. I still don't like him in this situation because in this case, he's talking to Haley. He's supposed to be making her feel better. He's supposed to be talking to her and calming her down and helping her out. And he's like, "Oh, you're so stupid for considering forgiving him and talking about it. You stop feeling bad. Move on, okay? He's a jerk. Whatever. Who cares?" It's like she's just really sad about it. That's not helping. You're not helping.
Yeah.
This isn't helping.
Yeah, Xander is definitely someone who is very much set in his ways. I do wonder, actually, if we get more flashbacks with Xander in the future, whether or not there was something that really that made him decide to just stop trusting people who wrong you once in general, or if it was just the accumulation of Jake and Drew and crew.
Maybe
over the years.
Okay, so there was this one Gacha multi-editor project that rosyclozy was a part of, and she made like original animation of it. Looked like Xander was sitting on the floor while shadows of his parents are fighting. So it's possible maybe he has trust issues from that. Maybe
that could be.
That's at least alluded to.
That could be another way to go. The flashback. One of the parents, betrayed the other's trust in some way. That could be a possibility.
But yeah, it's just one of the things where it's like, Xander, you should at least be trying to comfort her, or at least trying to make her feel better and focus on her feelings and not whatever vendetta you have right now, because that's not helping her. You're just going to make her feel even worse at the end of the day.
No. Oh, I don't know. I just can't help but think, what if he's telling the truth? That he didn't mean anything he said.
For all we know, he could have been talking about us like that this whole time.
Yeah, for all you know, and since you refuse to talk to the guy, you never will know.
He's just sorry he was caught. Not for what he said.
It's just strange. He's
Aidan,
nothing
I'll
like
take
a
your
person.
phone. Jesus Christ.
Because
I was going to say, was that somebody's? I thought that was somebody's phone, like in universe.
I'm turning on Do Not Disturb temporarily. I don't know why.
I actually thought, because it's talking about like Jake's text or something.
No, that was me.
One of them was getting messages from Jake that wasn't Haley. It could have been Luke or someone. And it's
no, it's just the fact that it's just look, okay. Sometimes my phone's a phone.
No, like it's
my phone's a phone.
It's just the timing of it.
And on audio when he's with us. You don't think his friends played a big part in this?
It's still bad enough in my book. He had no right saying those horrible things about us. And especially about Haley. After all that...
I forgot if he was singled out during that discussion or not. I forget the exact wording.
We talk about the duet.
I don't think Haley was singled out. I think he's more upset that he attacked that Haley was also technically involved in that, more defensive over Haley getting attacked than anyone else, which is admirable. But also at the same time, you're not helping by being a jerk to Haley right now, or being at least not helping out Haley.
Yeah,
like if you care about Haley so much, maybe you should comfort her feeling wise.
But at
You've
the
definitely
same
made your point in
time,
that regard.
he's also hurt by this. I don't think he's focused on Haley specific. He's madder about Haley, but I don't think he's focused on comforting her specifically. Like,
I mean,
just
he never really
personally, if
liked
I was
Jake
in
to
this,
begin with, so not really sure if he feels wounded on a personal level, other than
I mean,
more
maybe
on a group level.
maybe he feels wounded because he thought for a moment that he could trust Jake, but then when everything went down, it was like he let himself trust Jake for a moment, and then
Yeah,
it
since we're
immediately
on the
failed.
since we're on the Buff Bunch channel, actually, fitting to bring this up. Last night, I watched the last 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Super, and half of Jiren's dialogue is just him talking about how he can't trust anyone and he has to rely on his own power exclusively. Which, of course, in classic anime fashion, becomes his downfall because Goku has his friends and yada yada. You get the idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see people call Jiren boring now if that's like all that he says. But I also see what they're trying to do with him. But that's a topic for another day, not for now.
Us working hard together as a team. It's just a
I
spit
mean-
in the face.
I mean, wouldn't him wanting to do a duet with Haley and wanting to share the limelight with Haley show that it has nothing to do with, any form of attention or any form of, popularity. It had pretty much, but he actually cared enough to go up to Haley and insist she do it with him because he cares that much about her, which seems contrary to whatever perception he has of him right now, which seems kind of,
That is true, and that's only the most recent example, because pretty much the entire first half of the Music Freaks was Jake helping out every member of the club individually on some level.
Yeah. So
Even Xander, actually, if you account the whole thing with Luke.
yeah, so it's like one of those things where it's like, I mean, that's heck of a long game if you're for Jake, if he was actually being malicious. Like, come on, what kind of long
Yes.
game is that?
Today, I am going to be the nicest person in the world, only to then make one act of selfishness that was my goal that I could have done from the beginning. Like, yeah, no, there's no
It's
point.
like, listen, I mean, it would have been so easy for him to get to like do some very small stuff, gain their trust, and then immediately betray it. Like, it wouldn't have been that hard, if I'm honest.
It's getting slightly dark. I'm gonna move positions to the light.
I mean, what Jake did was wrong. Don't get me wrong; it was incredibly immoral.
Mean,
I guess
rude,
is the word.
hurtful,
Yeah,
horrible.
it wasn't good, but he is clearly trying. I think, yeah, he probably is sorry that he's got caught, but I think he's more sorry in general.
Yeah, this does go into the reason that a lot of the time people wonder, why I'm still in touch with people who have, wronged people in the past or something, particularly on Discord, even if we keep them at arm's length for those who have been harmed. And that is because I can see when they're trying to make amends. And a couple of times they've definitely slipped back into their old ways. And depending on how this ends, that could very much happen again in a second season, hypothetically. But yeah, ultimately, that's the thing with me. I do believe that people at least try to improve a lot of the time. They don't always get it right, but at the very least,
I think when you start but I think when you start slipping back into your old if you like constantly like make steps forwards, but then inevitably slip back in your own ways after stuff at a certain point, I personally wouldn't be able to trust you ever again. Like, there's this IRL friend who hurt me a lot recently, and I mean, I want her to find happiness somewhere else and live a good life, but not around me. Ever. Stay away from me. I don't trust you. You're just gonna hurt me.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, depending on
And-
the severity of what happened, that is almost what Xander's feeling at the moment, actually. In a
Yeah.
sense.
But in this case, I just wish he was focused more on Haley's feelings and trying to make her feel better rather than,
Yeah,
And
I think
plus,
ultimately the
in
downfall
this
of Banter is
situation,
used on
in this situation as well, it's clear that Jake has immediate regret. It's not like a thing where he doesn't have immediate regret. Like if he didn't have immediate regret, you could question it more. But he kind of has near immediate regret, and he's been working to try to apologize for like ever since it happened. Like ever since the moment happens, he's been working to apologize ever since. You know, and it's like a switch. You know, like he immediately trying to, you know. It's like I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's like if he really if he really wasn't sorry, then why would he not? I don't know. It's like one of those situations.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly check. Just looking in the chat as well, as we've been here for some time. There's people I was like to Kiwis because I hated them. All right. Also, you put down what you got. I was putting down there. Absolutely. Anything else? Let's see. Oh, we've got a new person. Sorry, I can't read this name, but hi to you. Normally, we don't tend to not look at the chat for this long, as because we're on the screen share right now, because the video I think is still processing. Let's check. Oh no, ready. We can switch back over. Yes.
Yay!
All right, here we go. And yes, I can do stop sharing now, so I can actually bring. There we go. This is what I like. This is what I like. I can see everything. You're back, and this is the correct moment. How is it? Hello, everyone. Hello, Josh. We can see everything. Okay, we're about 2 minutes in, so let's go from here. Or not. We can just have it rewind on us.
He can't
Literally.
be two-faced and expect us to put up with it.
Xander sucks party.
There's no point moping about it. It's
Milk,
clear
oh
he'll
dear.
be forever loyal to those assholes. What we need to focus on now is the
Oh god, Hetty's
competition.
eyes are gone again.
Just the 5 of us. Like it was supposed to be.
Just the 5 of us. We can make it if we try. These maidens may seem kind. There's something going on behind. I know I
A
skipped a
whole
bit there. What the rest of it was.
Section, you bastard.
Hmm?
You missed the whole bit.
No, I don't think much was missed. Maybe a line, but
I missed like half of the chorus. I forgot what the next part was after that.
See?
oh,
Tearing
the song.
pages from my mind.
Wow, Jacob.
Oh, no, Take on Mine was like after that. Then hold on, there was something else before that. If we try something, tearing pages from my mind. There's a missing gap in there still. Yeah. Oh, you said the same thing in your reaction. Well, hopefully more successfully than I just did.
I don't think I can do it anymore.
Haley, don't say that!
What's the use, though? All this time we've been practicing just to lose our singer at the last second. Everyone's angry and upset. People at school aren't just gonna turn up to watch us without Jake. And without him,
That is actually kind of true, because we did see it here in last episode that some people were just dropping out because Jake wasn't going to be there.
Hey, if you don't want to sing, that's fine.
Also, by the way, just a beef about Luke's design here. His pupils are brown. Like that's not our darker. That's not our darker version in yellow. That's not black. That's just a completely different color.
Nope. Okay. That brown, yes, it's brown, but it's the yellow brown.
Well, it looks hideous.
That doesn't make it doesn't take away what Aidan was saying here. Although it does depend, of course, whether or not a person is inclined to go in the direction of, okay, everyone's pupils are going to be the darker version of their iris, or whether or not it's all black pupils. I think in this case, what Aidan's saying is that they've mostly been black pupils.
Yeah, no, Xander's are dark purple, and it works.
Exactly.
No, so they are all, the darker shit. So then this shouldn't be.
It looks ugly.
Because the darker version of that yellow.
No, because like
Yellow is neon yellow. You're not having neon yellow people.
yeah, then make them black. I mean, brown's close enough to black, and brown's close enough to black, and it works because keep in mind his pupils also the same color.
Black and yellow.
Also, his pupils are the exact same color as his like not eyebrows. What's the no, what's it called?
Eyelashes, and everyone else's is. Xander's a dark purple. Haley's a black.
It looks bad. It looks bad on Luke.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't.
It looks
I understand what you mean. It's just the fact the darker version of that yellow is neon yellow. Would you rather it either be completely off character? I can't describe it. So he's an odd one out of every single character, or would you rather have it look neon yellow? It's giving pops. Like no.
I would just do black at this point. Listen, okay? It looks weird. It's weird.
Giving pops is the biggest Emily insult that you can give.
Dang. Also, I heard Eli got hacked. Did Eli get a new account or something?
I thought Eli was hacked.
Not to my knowledge yet. I haven't had any messages from that account since the hacking occurred. So
I haven't either.
Yeah.
So
yeah, who knows on that regard. But I've done to check out. She probably has an update on community tab somewhere, most likely. That's where she warned everyone.
Either way, Aidan, you're wrong.
And who cares if no one else from
See, dark purple.
Also, it was Buddy's Day that passes by. I looked at the lyric while you two were arguing. He goes, Buddy's Day that passes by is tearing pages from my mind. There you go. That was it.
shows up. We won't need them to blow the judges away.
Yeah, I guess so. It just doesn't feel right to do it without him.
Look, I know it sucks not having Jake in our band anymore. He was an important member and friend.
Can you imagine if Jake just did like a went like a full villain arc here and was like, fine, if they don't want me, I'll do a solo act, just like
oh my god, villain arc Jake, he's on his
villain Jake, villain Jake AU.
Someone make villain Jake AU.
No, there was actually a villain Luke AU, actually, like a yandere Luke AU. That was actually like a comic book thing.
Why would Luke need to be a yandere? He has a boyfriend.
This was in an alternate. This was in an alternate timeline that happened before. Well, it was before, set before him and Xander got together in an alternate universe where they,
I mean, okay, fair, but here's the question: who else was going to want Xander?
I was gonna say, I feel like Xander would be better.
It's a thing. It's actually a thing, and I don't know who would want Xander. Xander is like the worst. Like, I'm sorry, Xander, just no.
That whole episode was Xander being jealous about Luke, like another girl trying to get with Luke. Xander would have been so much better.
Yeah, I was going to say he's already a natural fit in that regard, yeah, or at least in that one situation he was. Hello,
Y'all need to pick your yandere characters better. It's cold, innit? Sorry. No one's gonna get that that's from yesterday. That's from a yesterday call. But it is cold, isn't it?
Okay.
But we have to carry on without him. There's no way I'm going to let you through.
I like how Xander talks like Jake's dead. It's like, I know he was a great friend to us, but we have to learn. We have to carry on without him.
I mean, well, technically he's dead to Xander.
I guess. Yeah.
All your effort, Haley. You've worked way too hard for this.
Okay, so has like everyone else. Again, he's singling out Haley so much at this point. No wonder Jake thought they were dating once upon a time.
Yeah, and you still have us. You know we'd be a mess without our brilliant club president.
Thanks.
I mean, you were a mess before with her anyway, so...
You're still a mess. Ooh, that transition, though, was clean.
I would rewind to see it again to analyze it, but yeah, no, that's not going to work with this video this length.
Hey, listen to this.
Also, that eyeless person gets a pass because their eyes were like obscured by their face, so yeah, not counting that.
Isn't that them?
mean, isn't that them?
They're the music club.
I feel like most people know who the club are, especially if they get bullied so much. Isn't that them?
Isn't that them?
Haley's face is on like most of the posters of the music club.
They all know.
She about to have a panic attack.
They all know who we are. Oh no, everything we wanted.
Well, no, it's they all know
the context.
Yeah. Oh, they're like, no.
It's just the way that it's presented.
Where did the edge of
Funny or
Haley's eye
something?
go?
Because, I mean, at the moment, Haley's making an assumption that they know about the
Lesbians.
recording and
What?
everything. Because she
What?
hasn't seen the Jake exposed thing yet. So she's making an assumption right now. It just happens to be a correct one. It goes back to the omniscient thing we talked about last stream, actually.
She's a god. Lesbian.
Oh god, her eyes.
Can you
Hey, look, at least
he said
Daisy's still
all
talking.
that? Maybe
I
he's right.
had no idea you could
Apparently
sing
she's
like
a
that.
huge scare.
Okay. Normally, I think what we're building up to right now is going to be a soundscape, and people know that that terminology from theater stuff. Because I mean, I can hear somebody in the back of my mind, like in the back of my mind, my left headphone, at the same time as Jake is coming from that exact same spot as well, and maybe we're going to pan over to the other side. It's going to be a whole build-up of everything that's happening. Throwback to GCSE drama, where like that was like everything that everyone incorporated. It's like, what are we going to do? Soundscape? Yeah, let's do a soundscape. It's not a bad technique. I just have trauma from it.
Trauma.
I can't even get my
that's
daughter
where
to
me
say a
and
single
you-
line, let alone lines at the same time.
Oh, well, that's a different problem to have. Most
No
of the time,
offense, guys, if you're watching this, love you so much. Please, this is my grade. I beg.
not GCSE drama. Do your friends watch my chat? Well, I mean, I know MHA Forever does, but like, do other friends of yours watch?
No,
Spring Boy. Okay, other than them.
he's not in my school, so
Oh, okay, fine.
he can't be snitching. And if he does, I'll just go over to his house. It's fine.
Yeah. I think the reason that my drama group was was always so willing to do soundscapes was because most of the time they could avoid whatever embarrassment they might have been feeling, even though it was just performing in front of the class. It wasn't that big of a deal. And like mask themselves amongst like everyone else, so they can be as loud as they want, and everyone's being as loud as them, so it's all fine. It's the same idea why people who don't like singing will sometimes join choirs, even though in a choir you are required to sing loud anyway, because if everyone is quiet, then it doesn't work. Another source of trauma I have, being one of the only people who actually sings loud, and so whenever the person says like, okay, we can't hear anyone, we just sing louder, being the only person who actually does also then sing louder again, and you blow out your voice multiple times because no one else bothers. Anyway, that's enough of my primary school experience and some of secondary. Moving on.
Amazing. It doesn't feel right to sing without you. You're not alone, remember? I could never treat you guys like that again.
I'm not gonna
Haley,
let them get in my
please.
way.
You know
And
that
Haley
was
can't
just
even
a
sing
load
without
of
me
bull
because of
crap.
her stupid stage fright.
I wasn't thinking.
Okay, so it's interesting to hear because like this isn't just replays of the episodes where all this stuff was sang. This was said. This one, this is like a recreation of Jake saying all these things directly, which I guess like in someone's mind you're not going to remember. You're going to pick necessarily like the place where everything was said every time. You're going to picture the person saying it. So I guess I can sort of see from that perspective. And ultimately, it is a case of just wanting to of Haley Rand to remember what was said. It wasn't important necessarily the exact context of everything. That being said, that means that this element of front face Jake repeating all these things is completely additional and just for our benefit, and it gets a plus from me. There have been thunderstorms on and off all day, and I can't peel her off me, and I am overheating. What?
Feel her.
Should have
You
known
feeling a
from the
person off you?
moment I joined that I wouldn't be a music freak.
Man, if she hadn't thought of all that at the same time, then she might have been able to distinguish all the good stuff. What a shame.
Well, I think it's more of like like doing the whole, like everything's playing into your mind at once, every memory, everything's happened near
That is
instantaneously.
ultimately what
But
that's what soundscapes usually are like.
but
Yeah.
in this case, it's really slowed down for audience because it's all played at once. Because like your brain processing things a lot faster. Well, when you're thinking about stuff, you process things a lot faster than
Yeah. Oh, okay. So here's the context from the comment. By the way, I didn't know that was like going to be relevant or anything. It was like, oh yeah, hey dog owner. So I just like filtered that out in my mind. It's like I'm not going to make a whole tangent about it. Anyway. Ah yes, the bottle flip challenge. Remember that from 2016?
You think so?
Yeah. I always knew he had a massive ego. He probably walks all over them in that club room.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for the
Yeah, they all
freaks.
walked over him, honestly.
I mean, club.
All right, hello, you don't have to pronounce my name. It's hard, just call me Nico. Well, the fact that you're saying that means you seem like you're here to stay, so welcome, Nico.
Hello.
I don't know. Maybe they are using him. The president is a wuss.
Well, they kicked him out, so they're clearly not using him.
Yikes.
What?
I'd hate to
Anymore,
make
at
an
least.
enemy out of you, Zoe. Poor Jake has it bad now.
Not really. It's more like the club has
Should've
bad
thought twice
now.
before.
I mean, honestly, Jake has not reacted at all to anyone else saying anything on their social levels. It was mostly Leah who, yes, did in fact ruin it for Zoe last time. So
Why is it?
I
Why
can't
did you
wait.
say I wouldn't want to mess with you, Zoe? I thought Leah sent it.
yeah, Leah
Zoe...
sent it, but Zoe at the end
Recorded
of
it.
last episode published it somewhere else that was much more public.
think
Leah
it was
just sent
Twitter.
it to Music Club itself. Yeah.
Twitter
Oh.
or
it was
X.
Twitter? Of course, it was Twitter. Okay.
Or X, as Elon Musk wants
It
to
is
call it, even though it's
miserable.
a stupid name.
I saw
Okay,
an
look,
X bottle
probably
of
set
Prime
before the
earlier.
name change.
Well,
Twitter
probably,
Prime.
but listen, I have to make fun of Elon Musk at any chance I get. It's too easy and fun.
BB equals water bottle.
Oh right, if BTB
Also-
woman, you got BB. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I understand this design style, but did she just put mascara on and then her pupil changed eye colors?
I don't think it's her pupil, it's her eyelash. Her
No,
eyelash.
her
changed.
eyelashes changed colors, but so did her pupils. Look at the
They're the
difference.
same colors.
That's black
Okay,
and that's not black.
I'm gonna try my best to rewind this. Bear in mind that with longer videos, it is harder to rewind on restream, but we're gonna do our best here. Let's see.
We're just comparing
I
the
don't
other
know.
eye, like
Maybe they are using him. The president is a wuss.
Oh, I think
Okay,
both.
okay, I gotta go now, unfortunately.
Yikes.
So, I'm gonna say a few things before I go. For one, the cliffhanger at the end of the season, which technically she's in next season, is extremely confusing, and I really don't know what's implicating, which isn't a great cliffhanger. But
Isn't that kind of the point? You're supposed to like ask questions and figure it out.
I guess, but it's too vague of a cliffhanger. It's like, okay, wait, what does this mean for next season? Not in a good way. Not like, oh, this character who's been rumored for the whole season's finally back in town. What does this mean for next season? It's like, who are you? Who are you? What's going on? What's this? What does this all mean? How is this gonna affect things? I don't even understand. Like, should I be excited, worried? Both. Anything.
Oh, this does sound like my kind of ending.
No, it's not in a good way. It's too vague. It's too vague to really mean anything. It feels like it was trying to be something big, but it just kind of fell flat. Jake does a speech at one point. I like the speech. rosyclosy calls it cheesy, and it kind of is.
Doing a speech at the end of a season of the Gacha series.
It kind of is, but
someone had thought that idea beforehand. Is all I'm saying.
But I do like the speech. And I think the season wraps up nicely, although I really don't know where they would go realistically with next season, if I'm honest.
That's probably a good thing, but we'll see. We'll get to
I
that
know,
point,
but
we'll
like
see.
when you have a second season, most of the time you want at least to establish a new direction where the series is going to go in the next season. If you're going to have a season 2, if that makes any sense, you're going to want to at least establish where the show will inevitably go. in the
It
following
depends.
seasons or following season.
I feel like
or
like
at least in a direction it could
sometimes.
go realistically.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna go enjoy the episode.
Food's ready now.
All right, bye. All right, let's take a look at that people's. It looks like Nico found that too. That it went a little bit more brown. I think was what was said in here, but I don't really know. Also, wasn't a cliffhanger like making Anna a cliffhanger? You know. Okay, that is a Climaya reference. If anyone here is watching this video, another series on Gacha Review that we covered is Cryptic Lands of Magica and Earthera. That is what's being referenced right now. So yeah, go check out those videos.
Aidan seems to have struck a consensus with chat.
Yeah, it seems that everyone's saying I hate the cliffhanger. By the way, Nico, you've officially been beaten on names that are impossible to pronounce. And yeah, it seems like Aidan just said my thoughts. No idea what I'm doing here. Well, we're going to cover the whole video. It's just that Aidan had to leave. But yeah, so this is Gacha Review. We're not going to rest until the whole thing is covered in full detail, because that's just what happens. And we are 54 minutes into this stream, and it's 6 minutes of the video. Granted, we did have to stall, but we'll pick up the pace now.
Make an enemy out of you, Zoe. Poor Jake has it bad now.
He should have thought twice before crossing me. I can't wait to get a good look at his miserable, ugly mug later.
Okay,
Yeah,
no, that
like
one
a
doesn't
very-
change colours, but why are her eyelashes and pupils 2 different colours?
Oh, right. Well, okay, that's another matter. Then again, a lot of people's eyelashes and pupils are different colors, I would imagine, right? Maybe it's less common outside of the gacha sphere of things.
Oh, yeah, gacha-wise, fair
Zoe.
enough, but like, still.
Don't you think this might be going a bit too far?
Seriously? It went too far the moment you decided to send that recording to Haley, Leah.
Okay, but that also, by definition, means that you went even further beyond, right? Because that would be... because, like, publishing it to, like, the entirety of the school. Then again, I'm sure that Jake is probably going to care less about that because he's already alone, so... Honestly, I think Zosha's mad that Leah stole her moment to get revenge, and this is the best that she could do in retaliation.
None of this would have happened if you had just controlled yourself. And now,
Control
because of
your
that
emotions.
moron, Drew thinks I'm a
Discipline your
cheater.
mind.
It was barely cheating. I only hung out with that loser for the gifts.
And here I thought you and
I thought Giant would Drew for the kid. Okay.
Boyd his long talks about college and dumb ape NFTs.
Well, that establishes this is not set in 2020 anymore, because NFTs, I'm pretty sure, hit the mainstream late 2022, early 2023. So yeah. Someone mentioned in one of the episodes of like Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series that it was surreal to see a series they were watching since 2006 talking about Blue Eyes White Dragon NFTs out of nowhere.
Whatever. It's over now.
I love design and hate her personality. I both like Pop in that way. You know what? That's a good thing, because some people like Pop's personality, and there's like, you're not supposed to. I have questions for you.
Anyway, guys.
I have questions for you. You there.
Eventually. And I can only pray he'll finally friend dump that music freak soon. Just don't do anything stupid without me knowing again, Leah.
What else is she supposed to do? She has nothing
See you in
else.
French.
Oui, oui.
Lettuce juice. I know your whole
Jake's
thing
not
is
coming
being
to class
green,
again.
but lettuce juice.
Maybe that's
Lettuce
why
go,
he's
mate.
green.
Lettuce
That's
go.
why. That's why he's green, is because it's like, it's all you are what you eat, or drink in this case.
How long do you think he's gonna avoid us?
Beats me.
You know, I'm impressed that Drew isn't avoiding these two, considering they did, like, you know, withhold a massive secret from him. So it seems that Drew at least is more forgiving. Also, my cabbages! Yeah, if it had been cabbage on the that's who knows, that could be a cabbage leaf. You never know.
That is a nice spell.
Cabbage Corp expanded and they make drinks now.
He's probably busy writing some dramatic "Please forgive me" song for the club. Is it too late now to say sorry? 'Cause I'm simping for more than just Daisy.
I mean, that is a decent enough parody, even though it wasn't to the rhythm, but still.
Good morning, students. Apologies for the impromptu announcement. We have a quick word from one of our juniors, Jake Sterling, who has an important message to share about the music club and the band
Oh my goodness, he's imagine if he actually does serenade them.
test this Friday.
Wait, he does what Anthony did in My Passion.
I'm already getting secondhand embarrassment right now.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. At least he would have written his own song in this case, and it wouldn't have been somebody else just hands him a piece of paper and suddenly, you know, he decides that's the serenade there, and that works for some reason.
Jake, I'm begging you, no insanity, do not serenade the whole school right now, please. I can't do this.
Dude, what the?
Okay. My cabbage juice! Anyway, here's something I never watched Avatar. Well, you know what? That shows you how mainstream the cabbage meme is, that you understood that one. Good thing you weren't Emmy Richu saying that, or you would have never heard the end of it. Would recommend, by the way. I didn't actually watch Avatar until like 2019, I think, or 2020 actually, potentially. No, it was 2019. Because it's like, well, why didn't you watch it when it was on TV as a child? It's like, well, because it wasn't on Spanish TV for some reason. They never did a Spanish dub until 2018. So I didn't... So I just had the worst version to look forward to in theaters. And that was it.
Oh, sorry.
Was that okay? I thought we were supposed to hear something there. Never mind.
You have got
This is me. Those three are in a mood right now.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah. I thought they're all still talking amongst themselves, like, hey, attention, he's listen to like an announcement. Yeah, who cares? So, as I was saying.
Oh, so back to your
everyone.
Thumbnail frame. Yeah, that could have been the thumbnail frame.
Jake. Which you already know because Daisy told you.
Oh, right.
Anyways.
Promo.
So,
Daisy has a future in marketing.
Some of you may have heard the recording of me that's been going around. Or the rumor that I got
How
kicked
did they
out of
get
the music
teacher
club.
permission for this?
Also, that's not a rumor, by the way. Well, Daisy's head girl, she probably pulls some strings. But also, that's not a rumor that he got kicked out. No, that is a fact. He did, in fact, get kicked out.
Well, it's true. I won't be singing in the band competition this Friday.
I was just like, oh no, wait, I already knew that. Why am I shocked? I had to finish watching Avatar. It was last on season 2, episode 16. Oh, that was like when they were in the desert, wasn't it? Like roughly around that time. Yeah, that's as you know, wait, no, they probably were already in Ba Sing Se by then. I don't know. I forget episode numbers with exact. Anyway.
I said some really nasty things and hurt my friends.
I'm so
I betrayed them.
uncomfortable right now.
I've been a bad boy. I said some bad things. If Aidan was still here, that would be
and it
better.
meant nothing.
I mean, to be honest, I do respect Jake for this, at least because, I mean, he's already established that, he's been humiliated enough. He's past the point of no return. He's got nothing to lose anymore, so why not at this point? He's already, whatever like street cred has been holding on to for this entire series is vanished now, and so he's just going to be like, yep, fine, we'll do this. Also probably helps that Daisy persuaded him, but, that's give him some agency as well.
I'm viscerally disapproving because from like what we heard in the hallway, everyone seemed to like be on his, not be on his side, but they were more talking bad about the music freaks, like the club, more than they were Jake. They were literally saying, "Oh, I always knew he was using him." Like they seem to be more supportive of him than them. I don't understand why. I know why he's doing it, but it makes me want to throw up.
Oh my goodness. Bad boy, I've said some bad things. James gonna be vile out of context. Well, if you're preparing clips of all of these quotes or something, whatever it is you're doing, then people are gonna know it's the song. But anyway, also,
I don't want to let the video
Elliot,
play. I'm already
Elliot, my
uncomfortable.
beloved, you're in luck because the spin-off came out today, and we're not gonna probably see it for like, I don't know, a week or so because we don't tend to go back and watch content from the same person on multiple days of reviews.
All because I was a coward. I let people make me feel like being part of the club and being passionate about music made me a freak. Yet, I was the happiest I've ever been with them. And I finally felt like myself.
I think this is kind of a variation of the cliche of the character goes and like confesses like on stage to everybody, which I've always wanted to I've always wanted to like have like a reaction from the crowd after that happens. Instead of like they're all cheer or something or they get forgiven, people like, wait, what happened? Was this a thing? Who is this person? Who are any of them? Like this, like it's like an entire school, right? So there's a chance that not everyone's going to be in the know about what happened. It's like, what? What happened? Who did what to who? Anyway, missing next to Elliot. Millie and Elliot sitting in a tree. KISSING. Except they're not because they're both nervous chickens. Hey, there was they made some progress like 8 episodes ago.
It took me
That's what the spin-off's for, because Millie's in the thumbnail. As
long to realize that I'd rather be called a freak than pretend to be somebody I'm not. I should.
By the way, I would not have shouted that into a school microphone. They do not have good feedback usually.
For them. But even though I'm not part of the club anymore, that doesn't mean you shouldn't go watch them this Friday. I might not deserve your support, but the rest of the music club does.
Yeah, this is starting to make more sense now because obviously he knows that he was the pull for everyone. So it's like, no, please still support this thing.
They've worked their butts off for this competition, and you'd be missing out if you don't go, because they sound goddamn amazing.
First comes a hello, then comes a text chain, then it won't become anything else because they're introverts. No, then it becomes spamming the peach emoji several times.
Oh, I'm just waffling at this point. To be honest, I'm not sure how else I can convince everyone listening to go. Hell, I'll even strip down butt naked in front of everyone if I have to.
Okay, that's a step too far. Now I'm gonna throw up. Excuse me, Jake. No. That is unnecessary.
I'm gonna be sick. I can't. No.
Yeah, now I'm starting to see from your. We shouldn't have let the vid play. It's had the opposite effect. What are the chat talking about here?
If someone did this at my school, they'd get jumped.
Wow. I mean, if someone did that in your school, would someone want to jump them because they'd be jumping onto a naked person? That's probably not what I don't know.
Oh, don't.
I'm sorry I let you all down. But more than that, I let them down. Big time.
Look at everyone in the chat's reacting to this like they haven't already seen this.
Haley, Xander, Luke, Sean, Millie.
What did I say?
If you are listening to this.
If you are listening to this, which by my calculations you've all been forced to, and therefore I can actually talk to you, I am sorry.
No, I called you freaks.
What a power play, though.
But the truth is, you guys are the coolest, most talented people I've met.
You brought me in and treated me like family.
So I was gonna start laughing.
You never got this far in your own personal watch. Wait, did you stop watching Music Free just to like see us in these reviews? Like, if that's the case, then we appreciate that, but at the same time. Imagine one of them was absent today. Yeah, but I mean, Haley did choose not to come to school like a couple of days ago. Like in the last episode, there was when she didn't come to school. So yeah, Daisy and Jake picked a good day for this. Absolutely.
Despite me being an arrogant ass.
That's fine. That's one joke I have made.
I was so stupid to forget that. I hope you can forgive me.
I like from this shot, this angle, you can't see the corner of the wall.
Jake.
Aw, he's so sweet. We should go after all.
Oh, you're right.
Those were the same two that were saying they shouldn't go in the last episode, so I assume that that's why they were brought back, and also because they already had voice actors. So that's there. There you go. If Emily has no haters, I'm dead. Are you not aware of why Emily deleted one of her the most popular video?
I didn't delete it. It's on unlisted.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All right, then fine. You didn't break rule 1.
I
Don't
thought
like
you
the
were
other
going to talk
girls.
about the killing video. It's not really technically that was a fan video. I thought you were going to talk about the I can't say the word, the bad video of me, the multiple very bad videos.
One?
Yeah, all that saga. And then they apologized, and then they made another one. They've made a lot.
In that situation, that's where I say someone's going back to their old ways and they've learned nothing. In that sense, I can see, obviously you weren't friends with the person in the first place, but just to tie back to what we were saying about Xander earlier in the video.
What the hell is going on? Jake gives some cliche speech and everyone's moved? Am I in a...
Oh, hello, Sense Spy Buns. Oh, that's an interesting name, actually. It's a combination of a spy senpai. Ooh, now there's a Spies Are Forever interpretation right there.
School musical?
That would be correct.
Huh?
You guys are going to be amazing.
Step away.
Okay, delayed reaction. Also, hold on, do they not get permission? Daisy's head girl. She could have easily just asked to do this. Like, what? I thought that's where they were going with this. Just they're just like, nah, it's fine. I'll break it. I will stake my entire reputation on this, which I guess is a commitment for Daisy. But at the same time, there were other methods. There were other ways.
The mic.
Yes, ma'am. Right now.
I'm singing Spies Are Forever concert live. Interesting. What? Because I feel like some of those songs don't work out of context for concerts, but maybe, I guess, well, Starkid has enough fans to justify that anyway, so that's fair. I mean, not Starkid, Tin Can Bros. Rosie Myros, you have such cute background characters. I love the girl with dark brown hair and blue eyes, and the person with cream colored hair and dark brown eyes. I want to see more about them. Fun fact, there's another rosyclozy video where she says the reason she decided to use Gacha in the first place was because she was like, what is this cute chibi app, and how can I partake in this? So it was the cuteness that sold it for rosyclozy. So I can see why that was developed significantly. Thank you. I made a Gacha series on my channel starring a spy Evo to Senpai Buns. I just you made your own series, I see. Huh. Okay then. You're definitely going on the list because I want to see that now.
All right, everyone. Sorry about the interruption. Back to studying. You two are in serious trouble.
It's like, oh no, we should have asked permission. It's like, wait, why didn't we? Hold on. Was that the teacher in the background carrying a box like she's been fired? What happened? I mean, I know she wasn't very assertive, but I mean, that's a bit of an overreaction, don't you think? I don't know there. Also, there's that
I got
good old
distracted
pause.
by the pause sign in the background.
Yeah, I think we already read that like a couple of episodes ago. It's the one that's like, hey, you paused the video. You know, here's the message or something like that. I don't think they've changed this.
We're gonna be watching you this Friday.
Also,
Thanks.
pause frame to
Jeez,
land
this
on
again?
Millie just messaged the group chat. She wants us all to meet up. Must be about Jake's speech.
Alright. Tell her we'll meet in the music room. You guys go ahead first. I need some water.
Okie dokie.
Haley? You know I don't want to see you get hurt again. But you're the president. So it's your call. I'll stand by your decision.
Finally, some
whatever it is.
That's some growth from Xander, finally. If my series was lighten up my day. Yeah, slow your roll here because bear in mind, Gacha review. We have we take a very honest approach with our reviews. So just a heads up.
We're not known for being nice.
Okay, some of us aren't. Okay, I try and be fair and balanced.
Okay,
Anyway.
I'm not known for being nice.
Okay. Don't think you know what that implies. Yeah, what this entails. Oh, okay. Battery's running low. I need to move away from the light now. Stepping
Jacob,
back into the
get
darkness.
away from the light, please. Step away from the light.
Into the black and white. Okay.
I just stabbed my eyeball. Ow. So what are you on?
Probably the same as usual. I mean, she already had a scene of freaking out, but I guess she's just still processing. She's coping.
And everyone's emo.
I thought it went slow-mo for a second. That was like, oh no, just the camera just stopped because Haley stopped walking. Also, I like how Bon in the chat is referencing that we haven't seen on the Star Kid reactions yet.
Freak.
Okay.
True jump.
Did I say
Oh yeah, I forgot about the rosyclozy screensaver as well.
wrong?
Did you?
I mean, apart from the butt naked thing, no. But that was pretty bad, so we're going to talk about that, please.
Patience is wearing very thin here. What makes you think you can waltz in there and give an impromptu speech?
Oh my goodness. Everyone is always like, oh no, I don't like the cat personality, but they're hot or they're cute or they're pretty or whatever. So many things with Gacha is always like that.
I love Leah.
It's amazing.
Leah is my spirit animal.
It was me, miss. I took the keys to the room and told Jake we had permission to use the PA. I take responsibility.
Daisy, what?
Why didn't you just get actual permission then?
Yeah, she is head girl. That is not a meaningless title.
I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't caught you with my own eyes. I know.
Or heard you with my own ears across the entire school. Bottom line is, I caught you and I don't believe it.
I expected this kind of behavior from you, Daisy. I'm revoking your head girl title.
No, miss,
Yeah,
you
And
can't.
2 weeks of detention for both of you.
But ma'am.
Jake,
Oh no, you'll miss the competition, probably, if I'm correct in my cliches.
it's okay.
They're gonna have to break out of detention and like run across the city
Daisy,
to
why
the
would you do
competition.
that? I would have never gone through this speech if I knew you'd get in trouble.
Which is probably why she did it. Now, you just answered his own question here.
I wanted to, Jake. And besides, having the head girl position taken away might actually be a blessing for me. Or a curse, once my parents find out.
That is true. She did cover that in a previous episode that that the position was weighing down on her significantly. Though that does raise the question as to who gets the head girl position in her stead. Imagine it's Zoe. Ultimate revenge. Zoe becomes head girl and makes the club's life impossible in season 2. There we go. Boom. Sorted.
Daisy, thank you.
How long
you
is this
really
episode?
are an angel.
43 minutes.
Oh, did I just say that out loud?
May I ask how was a 3D gacha vid created? Would help me a ton if I can do that. I don't believe this is truly 3D. It just looks like it because I mean parts of it are shaded in order to look so, but also because there are backgrounds that are supposed to correspond to each other. So apart from the animation, obviously, which is a whole separate thing, the one thing I love about rosyclozy videos from the beginning, even back in the Gacha Life days, was that the custom backgrounds actually do show the different perspectives, and that's what gives the 3D that's what gives the 3D illusion. Even in some of the things like the Jake from State Farm video, if anyone's seen that a small additional content, that's a simplified version of the technique because it is ultimately, as I've noticed recently, just a monochromatic wall with a lamp on one side and different poses on both. But it ultimately gives off that effect, and that's what's tricking the human eye. And yeah, again, another thing that I would love to indulge in after, what was it I said I was going to do before that? I forgot. I forgot what it was I said at the beginning of this video. I was like, oh yeah, I need to learn more of that, and that's great. I'll rewatch this later on my own.
Live 2D
it's not
is
3D,
like
it's rigging.
pain.
Yeah, so if you're not talking about like the illusion of 3D and talk about the actual animation itself, then yes, live 2D is the source of the animation.
It is incredibly painful to use.
Yeah, and that's why the episodes took so long. That's why it took a toll on rosyclozy's mental health. And why she was going to take a step back from it and then realized that was not going to work. And so she said, discard that in a community post. So, my goodness. My 2D is really expensive to use and hard to get a grip on, so don't aim too high. I mean, by all means, you can do it, but I mean, Bon here has also used plenty of other things that that ultimately achieve great results as well. And not to mention, somebody else who's used Live 2D in the past is Sin Gacha or Sign Gacha, and Superhero Never Die is atrocious and a travesty. So you never know what you're going to end up with. Just because you have the software doesn't necessarily mean it's going to end up this way, and you can do this stuff with other software too, or honestly, with less. It depends. Okay. Requires a whole cinematic source that I don't possess. The more you know. Well, it's one of those things that you pick up over time. Honestly, normally on Gacha Review we tend to with big and well-known creators, we tend to go back to their first episodes and go in order for the most part. I did up in Music Freeze because of how it starts on the Butter Bunch, but mostly it's because we can see the evolution there. We can actually sort of through seeing that journey, we can actually learn what to incorporate ourselves or what not to do as well, as is also the case in certain situations. But yeah, rosyclozy is definitely more one of the do's than don'ts in most scenarios. Give or take a couple of wireless creatures.
rosyclozy started out with Drarry videos, so obviously we've come a long way.
Well, okay, that's just like the story elements of those things. The Drarry videos actually, they looked like the typical gacha videos of the time, except for they were actually spelt correctly and were, decently written. That was the difference. So, and then afterwards we gradually got here. Yeah, it's on my bucket list to cover, stuff like Boy with Bad Luck, and anything that came in between those. Since Drarry's been removed from the channel now,
Has it? Oh my god!
Yep. So once again, because we did the review of episode 1 of that, we've archived something there. So there you are. Then again, also because of that video, I narrowly missed out on another gacha record. Because I used to say that Mrs. Dysart was the first gacha teacher that actually taught a lesson, and it wasn't just like a, oh yeah, we're gonna skip this, end of the day, or teachers in with the asterisks or whatever, or I am Miss Bex, look at my magnificent moustache, or something like that. No, we actually learned something watching the early Mutant Girl videos, and the later ones hopefully as well, but that's not a subject. But no, I was actually mistaken, because technically speaking, rozyclozy's version of Professor Slughorn came out a day before that episode of Mutant Girl. And now I have archived that, so I have the proof that I don't have the record. Which, yeah, fantastic. Anyway, I guess Capcom and Gacha Life made to make the episodes. I'm surprised you still use Gacha Life, and because at the very least, I suggest upgrading to Gacha Club. That will, help you out with visuals to a significant degree. Unless you love the animated poses, or particularly, that's the only reason I would suggest staying on that app particularly. Gacha Life 2 is an acquired taste, so I'm not gonna necessarily say like jump straight into that, because that will just destroy your sanity if you go from Gacha Life 1 to Gacha Life 2 directly. Oh no. So yeah, Gacha Club I would suggest. And from context, Bon, I would definitely say stop motion in this context, but who knows? Could be that Senspy Buns is looking for a different animated software and has already started on that journey. In which case, the cinematic skills thing will probably come to you in due time.
Well, I'm not the one with the voice of an angel, you know.
Also, episode 1 callback there, because you said that in the first episode, and he was like, she called me an angel! And then we have like the Not Quite Jake. This is one of the most known jokes from early Music Freaks. So yeah, good callback for the finale here.
Thanks. I don't know how to tell you how grateful I am.
Oh, I really didn't do much.
You have, from the beginning. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have even joined the music club in the first place. You gave me the push I needed.
Oh, yes, Daisy's getting the
You
credit.
even
Let's go.
sacrificed your head girl position for me. You're an amazing girl. You know that?
We stand Daisy.
Thanks, Jake. It's no biggie.
Oh man, he finally made her blush. It's the last episode, and we're finally getting a moment with these two where it seems reciprocated. Gosh darn it, anyway.
I'll make it up to you. I promise.
Make it up to me by taking me out to dinner, please.
Well, there is one thing I'd like.
Yeah?
I want you to get back in that club and give me the best performance that I've been waiting for.
That's kind of out of my hands. I know I said I would do whatever, but a little bit of a snafu there, I believe.
I can do anything else.
I would do anything for Daisy, but I can't do that. I physically can't do that. I consider using Gacha Club, but I've gotten used to Gacha Life because of the animated poses. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So yeah, back when, because I started with Gacha Life. Well, I started with Gacha Verse technically, but that was like one video. That doesn't count. Mostly, I started with Gacha Life. So yeah, when Gacha Club came out, I really debated whether or not to move my series to the new game or not. And ultimately, I decided that yes, I was going to do that because it would, ultimately be an improvement. It took a while to get used to not having the animated poses, but actually, to be perfectly honest, that actually made my editing process a bit easier for a time. So, good with the bad. That's the thing with or Gacha game updates. You take the good with the bad. Gacha Life 2 is a prime example of that because it has plenty of good and also plenty of bad. Daisy feels like she has super strict perfectionist parents. Her parents don't react when they hear their daughter's no longer a head girl. See, here's the thing. She could either have perfectionist strict parents or she could think she has perfectionist strict parents. And because they've always been so immensely proud of every achievement she's made, she feels like if she messes up, she could disappoint them. That's the thing I see in a lot of particularly animated shows nowadays, actually. That's becoming increasingly a thing that I see a lot of. Willow from the Owl House is an example I can think of off the top of my head right now. I think also one of the characters from She-Ra. Both of which end up being the two dads in that situation. Don't know if that's a correlation, but you never know.
Jake! You need to come now! Okay. It's Drew and Haley!
Drew and Haley?
I'm gonna punt you in a wall.
It's an unlikely pair to be seen in a room together, but I guess Drew came to...
You guys think Haley's gonna forgive him? He sounded to me like he really meant what he said. God, that audio has Zoe written all over it! I bet that conniving little snake had something to do with it.
Maybe. I don't think that's important right now, though, Mill.
That does raise the question, you know, because if it was posted publicly, then that probably means that it wasn't just like an anonymous account that you'd have to have like everyone's followers, because like the title said why Jake Studding exposed why he got kicked out of the Rose Meadows Music Club, which is only going to be relevant to the Rose Meadows people, which means it's probably shared with an account that's in a social circle with everyone in Rose Meadows High School, which means it most likely has Zoe's name, which means they probably know there's her. There you go. Just ruined that one, I think. Never thought you'd see Gacha well edited. Wow. Well, a lot of people thought that when Music Freaks first came out, not realizing that Midori Stories already beat them to the punch in that regards, but that's a whole other topic for another day. I keep promising that. I swear I will get to that point where I talk about the good Midori Stories videos and not just the Green Knight.
If you want to see more Gacha well edited things, then you should watch The Mutant Girl.
You should watch the later Mutant Girl for well-edited things.
The later Mutant Girl episodes.
Or the remade episodes as well. But, you know, much like with the Gacha games, you take the good with the bad when it comes to Mutant Girl visuals. Oh my goodness. But yeah, there are plenty of well-edited Gacha shows out there. Some of them to this caliber, some of them not. But ultimately, yeah. There are quite a few. And yes, Secrets of the Plex is also another example of a well-edited Gacha show that on top of that also also has a story that is at times less confusing and drama reliant than this one.
Think we gotta hear Jake out this time.
You started watching Midori Stories.
I'm gonna go check on Haley. I'm worried.
All right. Text me if you need me.
Drew, if you pat her, I will punt you into a wall. Square up.
He already has her, but you know.
What's taking her so long?
You've never seen Vortex for Gacha? Oh, then you definitely need to watch Mutant Girl. Oh, oh my goodness. Okay. You know what? I don't normally do this. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Because this is a moment of pride for me.
My whole voice acting career is quaking right now.
Yeah, like I can't let people think that Music is like the first or the only voice acting Gacha project. Climax already did enough damage in that regard. No. We're fixing this right now. Right.
Fun fact: The Mutant Girl is the longest running first voice acted series to this day. Is that right? Help. English?
Yes, it is. It is the longest running Gacha series, and it's also to my knowledge, the first. Well, I guess there were like a couple of like 1 or 2 parter videos in the past. Like there's like one thing that I can't find anymore that was a voice acted thing that was like a couple of months older than Music Girl. Like had 2 episodes. But it might be the oldest surviving voice acted Gacha series as well, and it has the second teacher to ever teach an actual lesson, which is not as impressive. But let me have this. Yeah, I honestly I like breaking Gacha records. That's why I really wanted the People Above to come out in October, because I wanted to be the first voice-acted Gacha Live 2 project as well. I'm just that petty. Okay,
and I quote, Aidan's is premiering tomorrow, so we need to release it today.
Okay, yeah. So, so here's the thing. If people don't know the story of what happened with The People Above, another series of mine, what happened was, yeah, I was working on that, and I also enlisted the help of Aidan and Emily, both people who are here today, fittingly enough. And for a time, we were working on, because Gacha Life 2 hadn't actually released, apart from a few beta testers, so we didn't have access to it. We decided to do everything else beforehand. So we did the script, we got the voice recordings, we did all the auditions and casting, and yada yada, the direction, retakes, everything we could possibly do without the actual app itself. And we've assigned ourselves different scenes that we thought would be what we could do depending on what was actually in Gacha Life 2 itself, and we were good to go. And then Gacha Life 2 released. And because of the state that it was in, we didn't know it was going to be still in beta mode, which it kind of still is this day. But it was a lot more effort to get it to work properly or to get used to how it works than any of us had bargained for. So Aidan and Emily kind of strategically withdrew from the project and kind of left, which kind of left me as the sole person doing most of the visuals.
I did a scene. Also,
you did a scene, yes. Which I think that came a bit later, actually. But anyway, so yeah, for a while it was just me. Or so I thought, because then Aidan mentions that another thing we're working on, which is the Many Ms. and Mrs. Dysart, which, yes, the same Mrs. Dysart I was talking about earlier, she got moved over to a different show after Music Girl students graduated from her class and therefore wouldn't have her as a teacher anymore, so Aidan wanted to keep her. Then he gave her her own spin-off after that, and that was Mrs. Dysart. Aidan said, "Oh yeah, so I've finished this and I'm going to premiere it in 2 weeks." And I was like, "Huh? Excuse you? You went over and did like a different Gacha Life 2 thing after withdrawing from my thing, which is in Gacha Life 2, that you knew I wanted to get out first?" So yeah, then it became a thing like, oh no, now I have an actual physical deadline. So because of that, I told Aidan almost nothing what was going on, started DMing Emily specifically and saying like, okay, I need your help. Please help me with this. I can't do everything all at once here. Because yeah, I was still trying to make Gacha Life 2 work and not sacrifice the actual intent of the scenes, which were written thinking I'd have a more competent app to work with. So yeah, eventually with like minutes to spare, I then just like premiered the video in a desperate last-ditch effort after it was completed, with Emily's scene, with the thumbnail from Emily as well, all that stuff.
Panic made that. I made that the like hours before it was released.
Exactly, because I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to pull this off. So, but yeah, we pulled it off. But I was so feeling like just working against the person who like went off his devices. So we definitely sabotaged Aidan. I sabotaged Aidan and claimed another Gacha record for myself, and I have zero regrets about it. So yeah. That being said, it is still the one episode for the time being. We haven't had any other new releases because I've been doing Music Girl particularly. But yeah, you remember that. Yeah, that was a time. That was definitely a time. So yeah, People Above, not the best edited thing in the world, but once you understand the context behind it, if you decide to watch any more of my Gacha stuff, then you will know what was going on there, and also why half of the cast are just Aidan, Emily, and myself, and a few other people, including Prism. But yeah. I love how everyone has like. Okay, so the fact that we did this again, it seems like from that angle, you could kind of almost seem like they were kissing, even though they're probably just talking to each other. It's interesting because rosyclosy said in the in like the retrospective video that episode 5, which is where we had that mistaken kiss thing, was one of her biggest regrets. It's also the moment that Aidan stopped, praising the show for its perfection, because he was like, "Oh no, I don't like that." And yeah, after watching that episode, it is definitely one of the worst additions to the series. And she ended up regretting that. However, shortly before that video came out, this video came out. So I'm thinking, why? Why exactly?
You've got Jake wrapped around your little finger, embarrassing himself just as you wanted. Are you happy with yourself?
Shove.
I mean, you probably should be focusing more on the fact that your girlfriend cheated on you and your friends hid it from you, but you seem to forgive them for that, so I don't really know.
Brew, go be a possessive asshole somewhere else.
Don't act innocent. You waste all this time playing families with him and kick him out. Now he's spouting out all this nonsense. This is clearly all you freaks getting to his head.
Unlike you getting to his head in the previous episode.
Hey!
Not previous episode. Okay, I like the way they said hey.
Back off, Drew. You have a problem with her. You have a problem with me.
Oh, is that right?
I mean, you're sort of proving
Haley!
what he thinks is his point.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You heard what I said.
Yeah, quite some speech, Jake. Blabbering about the competition again. That's all you seem to care about these days.
But he
Still
didn't
don't
mention the
get it,
competition.
Drew.
He said nothing about the competition apart from on the speakers, but not now.
The club is what I care about. My friends.
And what am I then? Because ever since you joined them, it's as if we never were. You barely have time for us anymore.
I would have gotten a different take for that one, because it's like, it's as if we never were. It's like, it's as if we never were. I would have done that one there, but yeah.
Practically live in that stinking club room.
Well, maybe that stinking club room is the only place I feel understood.
I mean, this is another classic Jake outburst here, where he's going to regret that later, but hey, at least this one seems a bit more heartfelt than the previous one.
Never supported my passion, and I knew you never would. Since you love to constantly talk down on the club and tell me to leave.
Well, how am I supposed to know anything about your passion when you don't tell me a damn thing?
I mean, you knew he was in the club for several months, so that's kind of how. And the reason he doesn't tell you a thing anymore is because of that, so put 2 and 2 together, but you know.
Anymore, huh?
Hey, come on, guys. Let's chill out a bit.
Yeah, let's calm down. Let's put our eyes back on, okay, Drew?
When the hell did the other lot get here?
Everyone just, when people are shouting in a school, everyone just sort of like starts to gather. They just happen to walk in the same direction. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Kind of that Cassidy looking directly, look at the camera away from it, we can see their back, not just facing left or right. Yeah, front facing and back facing is another. It's one of those like universally super difficult skills in Gacha to pull off. And admittedly, most of the time when I see it go wrong is in animation. Not in this show though, but in other stuff. What a moment to return to.
Yeah, at my phone over a front-facing character earlier.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I tried back facing once in Mutant Girl. People didn't seem to like it, so I was like, yeah, no, just
back facing is so much easier. With front facing, you have to align the face. That's what I was struggling with. I couldn't get the eyes right, and then her body looks stupid. I was having a moment. But like with back facing, at least you don't have to look at their face. Like, I don't know.
No, for me, I think for the audience, it was mostly like the way that I basically had to make his body seem to entirely twist, and the illusion wasn't really properly pulled off.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. Now, if I did that episode nowadays, I probably would just do that with like custom backgrounds or something, as inspired by this. But
Just realized it too, right? All he does is lie to our face. You tell me you'll leave, that this is all for Daisy, that you need more time to practice, that we're your real friends and not those freaks. Not to mention you waited until now to tell me I was being cheated on by my girlfriend. If you care...
I mean, yeah, everyone else did that too. Like you forgave your other friends as well. I guess because Jake also lied about more stuff. Maybe that's why he's more mad at him. But
So much about your friends, Jake? Why don't you spit out the truth already?
He just did. He just told you right now. He spit out the truth. That's it. That was it. Job done.
You're right. Drew, Henry, Liam, I'm sorry.
I always forget the other guy's name is Liam.
I didn't.
I keep calling Henry Deku as well, but that's I've since learned his name. Explain the concept of back-facing. Can do it with Capcom again, the body sheet from the app. Don't know about that part, but the concept of back-facing is essentially that the character, what you were saying just now, that you can see the backs of the characters rather than just the like cutting between them. You actually get to see, here we go. I'm back-facing currently. You can't probably tell because I'm because the light is terrible, but still. Yeah, I've been calling him Deku this whole time because I keep forgetting his name. My favorite TMM character is Deku.
Lie to you guys. The
Deku
truth
from,
is,
there's a Deku in Wish.
I love being part of the music club.
No, Deku from
I know
Wish,
I said
like
that I'd
the
quit once the
shopping
competition
thing.
was done.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant from Wish the movie. Okay, never mind.
But in the end, I didn't want to.
Yeah, back-facing. There you go.
It was like my second home. I just wanted friends who would stand.
It was like heaven, right down to the intense glow from the room every time you enter the space. Sure, my retinas haven't recovered yet, but my heart will never leave. I'm not supposed to get so in the personal space of others because that's a form of bullying. That's one of the things that's universally despised by humans. Yeah, and it's meant to, make you uncomfortable.
I was about to explain the psychological reason. I realized no one probably wants to hear that. Hyperfixation, guys.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah.
And you guys did when I had no one else, but
now I have others.
People who are just like me. I felt like I had to, so it would never happen to me again. But I won't be that weak-minded person anymore. I won't stand for them being called freaks anymore. And I also won't lie to you guys anymore.
This is actually probably the speech that he needed rather than the one from the speakers, actually. If Daisy had known that this was going to happen soon after, she wouldn't have gone through that, but that's obviously, not everyone has oracle powers, unfortunately. But narratively, this should have been the speech moment.
Wow. I'm so happy for you, Jake. It's funny. I really thought they were using you. Turns out you've just been manipulating me this whole time. Nice to know we were never really friends.
That's not true.
Whatever.
I thought you said that's not true for a second. It's like, no, his name's Drew. Never mind.
I'm done with you. Have a nice life.
I hate when I have
freak.
Hate. It's far from great.
Drew, I hope you get stuck in a vending machine, you pompous arsehole. Okay.
I mean, this is exactly what Jake was saying he was afraid was going to happen, and Drew just did prove his point. But then again, Jake proved Drew's point a couple of occasions. So yeah, this was, I guess, inevitable in some way. Am I about to cry over a music freak scene? Oh my goodness. Honestly, I love when that happens. Episode 9 was the same. A lot of people cried over, the actual episode 9 meltdown that led to the recording in question. And you know what? I say more power to you. More scenes like this, because it's stuff like this that proves that Gacha actually has the power that people think it doesn't. It's got a terrible reputation as an app and as a community, but yet you can still do this kind of thing. And that's pretty beautiful. So yes, go ahead.
And then there's me who cries over gaslit death scenes. Don't worry, she's not going to die in this episode. Dies in the episode.
Okay. Okay.
Twice.
Twice. To clarify, we're talking about one of Aidan's shows, Fallen Angels, in which Emily asked specifically if certain characters were going to die in an episode because she knew something bad was going to happen, and that's you know, with Aidan shows that tends to mean the death of a character, and most of the characters are immortal to some degree, so they can't die. So there's only a couple of options, but naturally, we can't spoil that. So we're going to pretend like it's not going to happen, or we're going to downplay that's like, yes, imagine if that happened. What a good joke you had there. You merry prankster, you. And then we eventually had it happen. But yeah,
I knew they were going to. I made the character designs for those two characters. I was told from the moment I made them, oh yeah, they die later in the season. Okay, cool.
Well,
There's two of my favorite characters. Oh, guys, is this the episode where she dies? No, that's later in the season.
Okay, I don't think I ever outright lied to you. I was like, it's like, oh yeah, yeah, sure, it's this one or something like that. I probably was sarcastic or something. I forget during the actual stream because we were there when that happened. Another episode of Gacha Review, by the way, in case anyone's interested. But yeah, it's as for me, you've there are a couple of Mutant Girl scenes that get people to cry as well. I will take pride in those too, and mainly because that was weirdly enough, that's actually connects to Disney, surprisingly enough. So because back when Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was in development, Walt Disney's intention, apart from making a feature-length animated film in the first place, was to prove that animation had the power to make people cry as well as laugh. Because back at that point, animation, you had your Mickey Mouses, you had your Felix the Cats, your Betty Boops, etc., etc. Most of the time, there was didn't lean too much into the emotional stuff. It was mainly slapstick comedy. Nothing wrong with that, but was there something else you could do with that? And yes, people, during certain seasons of Snow White were, crying in the aisles. And, I can just imagine Walt Disney at that point being like, yes, we did it. Yeah, let's go. Something like that. But, the 1930s equivalent of that, obviously. That was me when Emily told me she cried at a certain scene in one of the Mutant Girls spin-offs. I was like, yes! I mean, it wasn't just you, but you were the first example of that happening. So I remember that specifically.
It was the first time I ever cried over Gacha.
Which made me even happier. It made me even happier to I got happy by making someone else sad. What a terrible out of context idea, but okay, hopefully that explains a bit why.
I'm gonna fight you.
Okay, because he's so beautiful. Okay. Oh, so the scene where Felix himself breaks down in tears, does that one get you? Was that your crying moments in Mutant Girl? As most of of Sense Flip on so much I gave everyone teary eyes, even though I'm the one who met. Yeah, and didn't that feel kind of satisfying that you were able to incite that particular emotion? Because obviously, I mean, making people laugh is hard enough already, but making them cry is a whole different set of skills. And it's just another one of those emotions that good storytelling can really make you feel. On top of the extra stuff that helps with that, like the music or the actual or the performances in some cases or whatever. But ultimately, it comes down to whoever created that visual to begin with. I honestly don't remember crying over any show, movie, or gacha. Well, I mean, there's that too. I personally, I don't think I've cried over a scene in anything at all for a long time. That's mainly because for some reason I'm just incapable of crying myself, which I don't know how and why that happens, but there you go.
All right, new final break mission.
Okay.
I accidentally muted my mic doing that.
Yeah, cut to just like an entire bloodbath of all of the characters, just in an attempt to see a reaction from me. Okay, including that scene, including Mutant Girl. You know what, chat? If I've ever made you cry with any of with any of my gacha shows, please let me know in the chat right now or in the comments of this video if you see this far into the video.
Top 10 saddest mutant girl scenes that made us cry.
I don't know if there are 10 yet, but there are a couple.
Where did his pupils
Thanks
go? Oh, they're
for,
back again. Never mind.
Being honest.
Yeah, like Henry has massive pupils, but yeah.
Henry's a
like
special little thing, isn't he?
My irises are so dark. I used to think I didn't have pupils for like when I was like a really young child. I thought I didn't have pupils at all. So I didn't have irises. That my pupils just super massive. But no, they actually are slightly above, slightly above black in terms of dark brown, which is why I designed my gacha see like that.
Grayish eyes, so I don't really get a. I've never really had to question if I have pupils or not.
Yeah, well, that's the color of wisdom. Tell you what, I've charged up enough now, so I'm going to move back into the light again. And there you go. You're gonna see my eyes. Anyway. Give me a satisfaction for your comment on the episode that said the best
Haley,
video sad.
are you
maybe happy can't explain it. You don't have to. I get it.
I understand if you can't forgive me, but I'm just asking for one last chance. The competition, the club, you guys, you mean more to me than you could ever know. More than anything. I want to sing with you guys again.
Wow.
Fight for me. That's all I.
Why are we singing right now?
Do.
Because he wants to sing with them again. So, again, one of my, if people are here for the first time, one of my major running gripes with the Music Freak is the fact that so many of the pre-existing songs don't leave much of a leeway for other characters to come in and join, or for like a little bit like more creative responses or calls, or even like so much as a chorus number of any sort, like other musicals would enable. And so that comes with the territory of making stuff with jukebox content specifically like this, rather than having the actors themselves perform it. But yeah, this time might be the only time where I'm thinking this feels like we're leading up into a duet. I've not heard the song before, by the way. This feels like we're leading up to a duet where, the typical one where Haley doesn't sing until later. It's like she looks away or something. It's like, I can't forgive you. And then Jake leaves a moment, was like, come on, do this. And then she starts singing. Kind of basically, if anyone's seen, it's going to be a terrible example. If anyone's seen Pitch Perfect 2, the scene... the scene where Amy is rowing over to Bumper to say sorry to him, and she's singing a song in real time. Not sure how he can hear her from all the way over there, but that's movie stuff, whatever. And she gets up to him, and she's just finished the first chorus after almost getting run over by a car, but what was it, a bus? I forgot what it was. Yeah, she gets up to him, and then there's a moment where she's like, close your eyes, trying to get him to prompt him, and he's looking at her, and he goes like, close your eyes and you will see, that kind of thing. And then they start making out, and it's all sorted. So I'm guessing it's kind of like that. That's my prediction for right now. I'm glad someone else loves Pitch Perfect, because Pitch Perfect is my only actual guilty pleasure as a piece of media, because I know that they are terrible in so many ways, and yet I adore them. Can't explain why. But yeah. Unlike other stuff people talk about, people think oh, how can I have miraculous? No, I have legitimate reasons for that one, but Bet Chloe forever. I don't know about that. The shower scene kind of put me off Bet Chloe, if I'm perfectly honest. Can't really get past that one. Not interesting though. Jake's is a bit forward, then starts singing. I mean, not every transition is going to be golden this time. If anything, this is the most normal transition into a musical number since Chase Scene, actually, which I constantly pick up. It's really interesting. I feel you. What? I said what? It's true. It's true. It's very weird what happens. Like, if people haven't seen the movie...
Is that the one where she just starts singing in a shower? Like,
yeah,
next
she starts
to
singing in the shower, and then Chloe comes along and was like, hey, you're a really good singer. It's like, wow, is that you singing? Ah! She like stays there the entire time, and then afterwards, after they do like, she refused to leave until they harmonize together as well, and then and then it's like, and then after it's like, and just to top it all off, after they finish and he's convinced her to at least give the Bard and Bellas a chance, she then just says randomly, is like, oh yeah, by the way, you can tell I'm very confident with, all of this. It's like, yeah, you should. Clutching a towel to herself. It's like, I was like, get out! Leave! Yeah. I keep thinking that Chloe, after like Aubrey left, had to go through a negative character of becoming Aubrey temporarily in the second movie, but then I realized no, she was always kind of a bit of an Aubrey, but just a little bit less so. And then after Aubrey left, it was like, oh no, that's just her. Okay. And yes, it's like the elf scene. Well, that elf scene is terrible too. I've seen both of these movies, and I don't like either one of those.
Oh,
although
that elf
to the credit of the elf scene, that they've seen, she doesn't know that he's there. Then as soon as he figures out he's there, she like pokes her head out, screams, and then they cut to later explain to him that he wasn't supposed to do that. So Buddy obviously didn't know that he wasn't supposed to be there, and she had to go through all of that. Chloe knew fully well what she was doing and lingered there until she got what she wanted. That to me is way worse than the elf scene. The elf scene is still bad. It's still horrible, don't get me wrong, but, again, scale of things. I did love how Jake and Haley are slightly limited while the others like Sandra and Millie are in the shadows. Oh yeah, that is true. I think that might be actually because of the window rather than like a spotlight of the musical number. But yes, the light from outside definitely is having an impact right now. I'd say that's something else what I want to learn how to do, but that is actively the next skill I'm developing in Gacha, which is trying to work with lighting. The musical scene I'm doing right now actually has me experiment with that because it's set in a rainy storm. So yeah, 1,000 episode and it gets 100 views as long as it's a 5-second thing post and gets 10k views. I mean, yes, but that honestly comes with the territory. I mean, I've been making Gacha videos for over 5 years. And they perform decently well, but in the grand scheme of things, they are not one of the most known shows of all time. That's not one of my Gacha accolades. I just have all the first to do thing credits, which is something. But ultimately, the thing with the Mutant Girl particularly that I really was satisfied with, especially from the beginning even up until now, is the cult following. Because even though there aren't many people watching The Mutant Girl, again, relatively speaking, the ones that have stuck around for actual years and still talk about the show, even though we haven't had a release in like a long time. Since March, actually, if you count the remakes. December if you count the Christmas special. July if you don't. Which, yeah, again, that's the fact people stick around, that's ultimately... That ultimately I feel like is the best metric to go by is people who are actually enjoying it properly rather than ones who just like stick around casually, or the 10,000 people that watch a 5-second post and never think about it again for the rest of their lives. So yeah, that's my takeaway with that. Also, what on earth is no one? Nah, what?
You good lad?
I have no idea.
Do you need some assistance?
What did no one do? Anyway, I started just like GMF Xander. Most people dislike Xander because I had a friend named Xander who abandoned us for no reason. So every time I hear Xander's name, a part of me thinks that. Ironically enough, Xana's the one who will, who is loyal to a fault to certain people and dismissive of others. Because I'm passionate about it and not for the views. I mean, yeah, that there is that too, but I mean, honestly, yeah. But for me at least, the views definitely help because honestly, if I'm telling a story, I'm usually telling it for an audience. The thing people say to you is like, oh, if it's on the internet, then anyone can watch it. It's like, good. That's why it's up there. Please watch it. That's why I'm sharing my creativity with the world. That's the plan. That's the point. But so yeah, that's why for me, I like the views for sure. But ultimately, you are also correct that the story is the most important thing. However, if you're telling the story, then yeah, that's the point. Let's be famous and stuff, but having two people supporting me is enough. There's also that. Again, like I say, cult following. If you get people actually like devoted to the story, then absolutely. And I should know because I'm pretty much one of them at this point. Season 2 because no one. I thought season 2 episode that no one talked in the premiere. Yeah, that. Yeah, actually, you know what? I remember I premiered the first episode of Mutant Girl without any like promotion or anything like that. It was because I was terrible at marketing. I still am. Yeah, no one watched the premiere of it, and yet later on, that video in question ended up getting over 1,400 views or something like that. It's like it's by far the most viewed Gacha video that I've ever done. It's still one of my top results on YouTube. So who knows? Sometimes it's not always the case. Oh, and Emily here is just showing off member for 9 months right here. Money at Jacob. Okay, yes, money is also great. That's the put that quote in the list, Bon. I mean, yeah, ultimately, if you get enough of an audience and you get enough watch hours from stuff like these streams, for example, then yes, there's a chance to get monetized too. And that is also the reason that I pushed that so much in recent years. So yeah, that too. It all helps.
Don't erase me. Silence is a thoughtless way to let go.
I know somebody can talk to you about this.
And to face me. I wasn't always the bad guy.
I'm surprised that we don't have more people watching this right now because I said before, there's plenty of people, from both sides who happen to be walking in this direction. Actually, no one stopped to figure out why there was a shouting match. And yes, in most cases with music videos in Music Freaks, you tend to go into the realm of abstractness, and so you own the details that are there, only the ones that help further emotions, or at least attempt to anyway. Sometimes it doesn't work, but most of the time it does. However, in this case, he is singing directly to their faces, so I'm surprised there's not more people around this point, because it clearly is a diegetic song that he's going through right now versus the other stuff.
In the stories you were told, what are your friends all saying? Hanging on my watch, my thoughts are overrun. To think that you have left me, to think that we are done.
Okay, and another reason why pre-existing songs do not work some of the time, because the words "think that you have left me," "think that we are done," the "we are done" part, that makes sense, but the "you have left me," they didn't leave you, Jake, they kicked you out. Again, lyrics do not match, and that's a problem when you're using pre-existing material. I'll never tire of saying it, because it constantly comes up, even if you get something that fits 99% of the time. There's always that one moment where it's like, okay, we're taking me out of this. Granted, in Gacha music videos and musical productions of the past, before Music Freaks and afterwards, that's been a way worse issue, but it's not present here.
I'll go, and you'll never save me.
Now you're saying you'll go, but he just said that he wanted to sing with them again, and without any further prompt from them saying they would be against it more than they already are, he's like, fine, I'll go. I know you don't want me around. Okay, I'll leave. It's like, we were about to say yes. Jake, where are you going? That's the problem here. And also, again, rosyclozy has a habit of picking songs that have an instrumental breakdown in the middle of them. And for the flashback episodes, she found a creative way, not flashback episodes, but for the episodes in the early season, she found a creative way around that, which was to show how the characters grew up together or grew up in certain ways and things that influenced them in still images. In this case, there are no still images, and he's walking in slow motion, but we have like that doesn't work. Imagine if that was like a thing. You're at the club or something, and you're preparing for like the drop in the music, and suddenly you just start like going, "Oh yeah, here it goes, here it goes." Oh. Shirt. I think that's actually meant to be like the collar of the shirt or something. That's an actual Gacha shirt. It's interesting, like how whenever there's an outfit change nowadays in Music Freaks, there's always some elements that has been added from external sources to make it like a more custom outfit that you can't actually make in Gacha. Weird for branding purposes, but that's another topic for another day. But with the older characters, you know, or like in the older outfits, what you tend to find is that the aspects of them get animated in different ways, like how the heart on Haley's shirt ended up becoming a broken heart in the last episode, but that was taking the pre-existing design and morphing it in some way versus what happens in these situations. But yeah, at least shaking effect on the previous dun 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 moment. Yeah, that wouldn't have fixed everything, but it would have like helped something. Also, how tall I am 6'2". Or 1.90 meters, I think is the translation for that. I don't know. What was that? Sorry.
You're nearly like a foot taller than me. Oh my god.
I mean, that is how Ghosty feels as well. Yeah, if you see the speed of the flashbacks in the background here, actually, like how they're going dun 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 like that. That's actually in time with the music. That's tall. Dang.
You're saying that like he also isn't stupidly tall.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I know above average, but am I that above average? I don't know. But yeah, that's why I'm always crouching in these videos, because or I have like a pillow or something to put my my laptop on. Because if I rested it like this normally, I'd just be like, "Hello, everyone, welcome to the stream."
Fight for me.
6 foot what? Well, almost there. Would you fight for me, saying that to Drew? The answer is no. You are aware that he will not fight for you. Why are you asking him specifically? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? It was going to be a duet that was going to come in after it seemed like there was no reciprocation, except for the fact that the problem is that in this case, Hay did not like react like she was still not receptive. She was, and Jake just didn't pick up on it. But hey, you know, I at least called this part. All right, come on, Haley, reel him in with probably non-matching lyrics too. Okay, and you know, I guess that in this situation, you know, this would have been a good moment to like show Jake and Hayden actually sing together in this part. Like imagine if like, you know, Jake gets to this point in slow motion and then he's in the same frame as Haley, and then as she starts singing, he freezes. We see his reactions like, "Oh my goodness, this is happening!" And then he turns around and they sing together like the "Can erase you" or whatever that was before. That's a true Amy and Bumper moment. What a terrible comparison, but you get what I mean. welcome to the drama.
Cannot face you. You weren't always the bad guy. Story's getting old. A book.
Okay, so her lyrics aren't that bad. They actually do seem to fit the situation. Like, you weren't always the bad guy. Yeah, that's fair. But the fact that she says story getting so old, when we know for a fact that rosyclozy was pushing for this ending to happen several years ago, it's just like... Can't help but think like rosyclozy was like, "Oh, girl, same," or something like that while animating that scene. Okay. I hate younger me sometimes because every time I hear dun dun dun, I just think of when people when younger me said cliffhang dun 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 at the end of a Goose Girl episode.
Cliffhang.
Well, look, at least you were attempting to introduce cliffhangers into your content. Not everyone does that. Admittedly, that is one of the things I see most in Gacha, but again, not exclusively. When the beat dropping up and eyes with a black background, okay, fine. Yeah, that's a cool movie. No need to cringe from it. I think if you saw Ghost Girl, the series, you would understand a bit more, but yeah. Based on lyrics, it's like Aidan, he planned this all along. What rosyclozy planned this? Okay. Almost in this lighting. Oh, you should have seen me before, like in the corner charging my computer. That's the problem. I've got my cable over there. That's why I have to keep moving away from the light source. When I'm in the dark, even more so than now, it's even worse.
I had to close. I can't read you anymore. Just strangers with some memories is all we have to be.
I do love how Haley is the only one who had a hairstyle change in like a time frame of 4 years, like in canon wise.
In canon wise, with
Like-
these events are supposed to be like the actual the events that happen in the series, just recreated without their eyes. Which
No, but I mean, like the younger version of them when Jake was in like that grey hoodie, like they all had the exact same hairstyle apart from Haley, and they have had the exact same hairstyle for like ages.
Yeah, that is rare in Gacha for characters, for a creator to have the character in the same hairstyle for, a very long time. I mean, at least, in universe is rare. Out of universe, the mutant girl character has been looked relatively similar for, a long time, depending on times, and then like make a dramatic change, and then Aidan will complain, it's like, oh no, your branding is like, it's not as bad.
I mean, if you kept that 3 ponytail look, I would not be your friend. I would not be here right now.
Oh my goodness. Hey, but also for context, the mutant girl was born in an era where Gacha, where redesigns of characters would happen in universe with no explanation. So it's like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. I made a bad decision. I will stick with it until such a time as the character has made a different choice, and therefore can move on from that terrible idea. Oh, didn't it sound like you wanted this to happen for years? Well, oh yeah, okay. Again, so you're over rosyclozy, definitely. Also, yeah, that was as far as we went with like the duet together. I was like, oh, that was it. You know what's worse than slow motion with a bass drop like this? Still characters without a bass drop like this. Please move. Oh, I thought she was just like doing like that, like the whole time, but no, she's actually continuing to sing the backing vocals. Yeah, okay, yes, the frame I paused on is always a frame I paused on. There is no good moment to pause in a music sequence like this, okay? Sure, it looks like they're being like engulfed into like the next life as a, as the as the glow from the music room finally consumes them. But you know, that's nothing to do with anything. And another callback. Okay, good friend to pause on. Another callback here of him on the roof, and I'm guessing it's going to continue to sing on here. Then Haley's going to join him, and that's because, you know, now it seems like they're on the same page rather than having to keep his singing as a repressed secret, as was the case in episode 1. Good old full circle. And yeah, it was this sequence actually in episode 1 that was, you know, fully established that, you know, rozyclozy, like the music video was something particularly to look out for, because it was the custom backgrounds and the way that he would like turn from one percent to another that really, you know, sold me on the series particularly.
Jake, why are you coming down? I was not. Jake just hummed one of the female vocals, and I found that incredibly hilarious for like no reason. Like, sir, that's not your line. Get it right.
Exactly. Again, another problem when you're trying to adapt an existing song into a musical context. Anyway. Yeah, see, now Haley's part is this, but then, you know, it's like, oh, wait a minute. This is, small Haley. And that part never happened, but, you know, they both probably wish it did. Oh, and she doesn't join him at the end? Oh, okay, I guess there was not enough song left. Again, would have been a good chance to have that, but, okay, I'm a broken record at this point.
Haley.
Mine's currently frozen, so I can't see.
You know, I always thought I'd regret letting you in the club.
Looked at me and went, ah, before running away.
When you first auditioned, that it would come to bite me in the backside later on. But I don't regret it. You've been more brave today than I've ever been. And I wish I...
Twice, actually, but we're just going to ignore the first time because it was harrowing for all.
That instead of running away the other day, I should have heard you out. I'm sorry, Jake. You're not just a member of our club. You're my friend.
Classic
An
wind
idiotic
blowing.
one at times, but an important one. I can't lose you so easily.
Does that mean you forgive me?
Yes, silly.
And do you still want to sing with me?
I suppose.
Imagine if you said
Just
no
remember
here.
to share the spotlight fairly. Okay?
I mean, yeah. Tease him about that, but yeah, that's his plan.
Thank you.
Another thing that's difficult to do, gacha hugs in any context.
Jake, stop
Hello,
hugging random
Fernando.
women.
Hey, do you guys...
Random women? What?
Not random. That came across. There's something about Jake and just hugging people. Hugging women, potential love interest. Just consent,
Look,
Jake.
you know,
Unconscious
Jake's a
people
hugger.
don't want tea, Jake.
Haley was not unconscious there.
Okay, well, everyone else will get that apart from you if you went to. Anyone else get that?
I mean, I
PSHE
haven't
lesson?
I haven't seen the video, but I know the context behind that.
Nuh-uh.
Like sitting like how young Haley sat when she was afraid. I wonder if that was intentional. Maybe. It could have been reused rigging, but it could also be intentional. That's true.
Another minute for your little makeup sesh, or can it be our turn now?
Guys.
And Millie comes in to ruin it again, of course.
I'm so sorry for everything I said in that recording. Please forgive me.
Punch him.
I mean, of course she would.
I forgive you, you big goof. And you were right in your speech, by the way.
Millie's like top.
I am the coolest person I've ever met. You boys, so emotional. Come on, group hug.
I thought she was actually going to start crying as well. Okay, this is one thing I haven't seen in any gacha video ever, is a group hug being pulled off. This definitely is the first time.
Are you guys quite done yet?
What? Hey!
Yeah, that was obviously going to happen. He's not even moved yet. Okay, now he moves. I think people don't realize in a lot of voice-acted gacha projects is that some of the most powerful moments are the ones where the characters don't talk. Voice acting can be used as a crutch very easily for certain scenes, but actually, a lot of the time, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and a video is usually like 30 pictures a second. So imagine how many words that is. Gacha, the village played like an anime episode. You haven't seen a gacha that plays like an anime episode? What gacha have you been watching? There are tons of gacha videos that play like an anime episode. Granted, not usually very good anime episodes, but they exist. Have you heard of a show called The Green Knight? If not, good. Another thing I appreciate is the fact that we actually have characters actually in the seats. That's one thing I was not able to do in Mutant Girl because, good lord, no. Just an empty auditorium. Ah yes, Rosemeadow Music Club, the music brands I don't think we've seen them wear before, but okay. Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Of course.
We were amazing. Oh my god, did you see that?
Oh, Memory Recipe cameo. Oh, okay. I completely completely went over my head.
Just faces?
I sure did.
It's fun. That makes a lot of sense as far as like unintentional. I don't know what they're doing there. Oh, I guess they decide to like take a break from their busy schedule. Although we do know for a fact that that the characters in FAFSA end up watching a Music Freaks concert at some point, so that's more of a unapproved cameo, let's say.
It feels so surreal, right?
I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
What are you talking about? He can't just quit. We're supposed to be on now.
He said he's not coming. We'll have to go on without him.
Oh, that wasn't the plan! I refuse to go on!
This reminds me of the character from anyone watching on the Butter Bunch right now. It reminds me of the Batman from the Killer track. Like, it'll do, man! It's going terribly. I can't remember. I can't quote the character specifically because most of the time he's swearing, but Oh my goodness. My series is like an anime, but I mean this 3D aspect is most fluid I've seen in a gacha. Was I miss? Okay, yeah. Well, okay, fine. Visually, this is the closest. Actually, no, this is not the closest to an anime that I've seen visually. That again goes to Midori stories with stuff like I forgot what the name of it was now, and I'm in a project that's following it up. What the heck? First mini movie you did. Dang it, I'm blanking now.
Winter thing.
Winter Night. Yeah, that
yeah.
one. Winter Fire. That was it. Yeah, January Embers, whatever.
Jake's sure taking his time, huh? We might end up like them soon.
Oh my god, my nightmares are coming true. I knew this would happen. I told you he can't be trusted.
Okay, take it back. Xander's like that guy from the Killer track.
I'm back from the restroom.
Took your time.
Oh, chill out, Xander.
Hey, Sean.
Probably just taking
I've
a big dump.
actually been meaning to thank you.
What for?
Check it out.
Well,
oh, yeah, do so.
Daisy told me you talked to her about the mess with me in that audio. If it wasn't for her encouragement, I'm not sure I'd be here at the competition with you guys.
That's okay, Jake. You looked out for all of us when we needed it. I wanted to do the same for you.
Oh,
and is the most reasonable character in this series.
If you
Oh yeah, he absolutely is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Luke potentially close second, but yeah, definitely Sean at the top. And Daisy. Pair of them.
Or like dating or something. Hey, I'm totally cool with it.
Huh? Oh.
He's like dying inside. It's like, I'm cool with it. I'm not about to cry in the slightest.
Not like that. Wait, you thought we were dating?
Oh, well, I just heard some things. And I didn't realize how close you guys were. I didn't mean to assume.
Yes, you've seemed to be close a total of like 3 separate times. That...
Oh, we're really not that close. Besides, I know you like her. I wouldn't do that behind your back.
Oh, well, thanks, Sean.
Are you all from Rose Meadow High School?
Am I back? Hello?
Hi. I was so scared. You're just staring intensely into the camera. I was like, you good?
Yeah, I lost connection, then I couldn't pause the video. Did it still? It kept playing, right? So I didn't miss anything. And then like
it kept playing, but it was
anything?
also laggy for me, so I actually don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna slightly rewind then. Hopefully, did that work?
Next!
No, it didn't. Okay, that's as good as I can do. Let's start from here.
Heard some things. And I didn't realize how close you guys were. I didn't mean to assume.
Oh, we're really not that close. Besides, I know you like her. I wouldn't do that behind your back.
Oh, well, thanks, Sean.
I got really worried here that he was going to be like, well, actually, I don't feel like I like Daisy anymore. There's actually somebody else that I like. Oh, really? Who? Hey, Jake, what are you doing? Haley! Or something like that. The fact that I have that scene in my head right now shows how cliche this show can be sometimes.
Are you all from Rose Meadow High School? Yes, that's us. Brilliant. They're just getting all the equipment ready for you on stage. And then, it's your time.
Oh my god, we're next!
It's your time.
Speaking of Daisy,
time is nigh.
I think it's time we go give her a performance she's been waiting for.
Right!
Okay, one visual flaw I'm going to say there is like when Haley grabs Luke's sort of like, we're next. The fact that we see both of her hands on this side, I feel like we should see like one behind, like mask the hand to be behind it. That's one thing that I noticed. Yep, I've discovered. But yeah, one thing you can do with masking particularly. Yeah, just to show you like grabbing from both sides of how you would normally hold onto someone's arm. Not that I hold many people's arms, mostly people hold onto my arms because, you know, tall again, but you know. So you guys are cool and I mean it. Oh, thank you. Feels like a Jake moment here, actually.
Let's do this! Music freaks!
Really? You know, I might actually prefer you calling us Squad Fam.
You have to admit, Music Freaks does have a nice ring to it.
Yeah, and Squad Fam doesn't. What was rosyclosy thinking?
Squad Fam.
Looks like they're ready for you. Best of luck.
Alright, guys.
This
is it.
What is going on with the announcer? Like, whoa, cross the next act, Rosemary High School, radical dudes, come on! Don't think I was going to miss that performance. No way.
Give it your all.
Yes, ma'am. Remember, Millie, no crazy guitar jamming when we finish.
Yeah, that's fair. Just as we rehearsed. Also, you said no, it doesn't. I forgot what you said. No, it doesn't too. Actually, Millie is such younger sister. She has to touch people's arms. Sorry. Oh right, yeah.
Boring! Why would you guys let me be awesome? Jeez.
He's fired up. By the way, this incidentally is a very similar stage to the one that he actually dreamt of in the very first scene of the series. Also, yeah, your chats are working. I'm not putting every chat on the screen because yeah, some of the time I know I don't want to pause like every time someone talks, because that will get to they'll decrease the pace a little bit too much, And I'm aware some people sometimes will message me saying like, it's a shame you pause so much. Like, well, it's a review, I have to. But yeah, to some extent, I'm like, yeah, no, let's keep this flowing, especially because it's a 43-minute episode. I understand that completely. But yeah, okay. Here's your comment. I want Jelly to be canon. The fact is like Jelly, like jail, even better. But yeah. I think I'm the only one in Jacob Butter. What do you mean? You're the only one in Jacob Butter.
Yeah, Ken's on Butter Bunch stream.
Oh, okay. I see. Also, yeah, you're not the only one in like the Jacob Butter main channel. It's like at the moment, Roostream is saying this that Ken's is in Butter Bunch. Somebody else, I think that was Nico before, was on Twitch still, and everyone else is on the main channel. You thought everyone was in Butter Bunch? No, not usually what happens unless that's an exclusive stream. Which yeah. I'm Jacob Butterby. You sound like you're like in me, or so I was like, what are you doing? Get out! Get out of my head, or something. Get out of my stomach, or whatever.
Stealing my
I don't know.
bits, guys. That's my thing.
What? Getting in my head?
No, stealing the Jacob Butter channel.
Oh,
and
right,
pretending to be Jacob Butter when BB needs someone to talk to on Butter Bunch streams.
Wait.
Man. Wait.
So yeah,
he
got what he wanted. So, again, the admiration of Days, that was like another thing that he was thinking about before. This is everything that Jake actually wanted to happen now, finally. And as a plus, his friends are there as well, despite the fact that they are the last people I expect to see in this establishment. They must have a change of hearts. Anyway. Taking over Jacob's body.
Oh, guys, not again.
Crazy. I don't know. Just like you, Mecha, just invades my mind.
All right.
Anyway,
someone get out the Jacob rebooter.
More like the Jacob rebutter. Anyway, even the incompetent teacher showed up. Well, I guess she didn't get fired. That's that crisis averted. Okay. I thought my audio wasn't working for a second, but yeah, he won't be able to hear them from that distance. You're able to hear chatter, at least, but yeah.
Hey, we got this!
I like how everyone's walking up and tuning there. It doesn't even know, like, the live setting, you would have done that already, hopefully.
Can't look at the crowd. Look at me, okay?
The other stream is on my main channel, Jacob Butter, just my name.
Okay.
You're the best singer I know. Show him what you got,
myself. Show me what you got.
She's
Rick and
so
Morty's
pretty,
ruined
by
that
the way.
phrase for me. Who, Haley?
Yeah.
Haley! Haley! Haley!
Haley, the song has started. We're in the middle of the first verse. Sing, say words. Can you imagine?
Imagine it's just us in rehearsals.
Imagine everyone is naked.
Nah, the rehearsals is better. Also, nice change of background there.
With their own
I'm the opposite. I always imagine there's an audience whenever there's a rehearsal going on.
original song. Please enjoy Rose Meadow High as they perform Starlight.
With their own original song. I think, actually, Aidan did mention this is an original song, or at least one that was written specifically for the Music Freak. So that's my understanding. And again, there's a bit of a leeway here because obviously it's a diegetic song they're performing that has have to match what's happening in the moment. So it's not a musical number; it's a performance. So I'll be less harsh on this song than I have in the others. Yeah, the Drew crew makes a lot of sense. That should catch on.
Lately when I see my reflection staring at me, I don't recognize.
Also, okay, minor detail here, but yeah, the way that like the song starts and like first of all, who's on guitar right now? But secondly, the way that like the vocals start immediately. Normally with like live performances, especially with school bands, you have like a little bit of like an opening or like at least a 1 2 1 2 3 to cue the music, the singer in, because otherwise you start at a different time to the music, or you either come in too late, you'll start too early.
Who's inside? Guess I'll wait for the day when I don't feel so out of place in this town.
Like a Luke's looking at him like, do I start playing yet? Nah, give it a second. It's gotta kick in.
Safe and sound. I'm stuck in a cycle. I can't.
Okay, also nice detail that Luke actually looks down at his foot as you hear like as you hear the foot drum. I don't know what's called specifically, but like the foot like you can hear that a bit in the background, and Luke looking down because he's the one making the noise. I was worried that the actual music in this was going to be, if as an original song would be different instruments, the ones that are being played by the band. But so far, that detail has been addressed. Again, so far.
But then even then should have it on thing.
Yeah. Then again, I also see Xander playing the keyboard right now, despite there's no keyboard in this instrumental right now. I don't think. Unless his keyboard is on the guitar setting, he's on making the noise, and that's the guitar they have.
Nothing can stop me now. I ride on white horses. There's nowhere to fall away in outer space. Nothing can stop me now. Now that I waited forever, great moments slip through my fingers many times. Too many times.
I just realized as well, the way that the lighting is working to them, bearing in mind that they probably wouldn't have had a tech rehearsal for this Battle of the Bands scenario. They would have had to send in like the lighting cues themselves or figured that out somehow, which means that if Jake really didn't show up for this right now, they would have been doomed because all the lighting cues would have been set to him. That's one of the things that they actually addressed briefly in School of Rock, because last second, they changed the song they're going to do for their Battle of the Bands, and they still the one that Zach, the kid in the actual school, he the one that he wrote. But yet beforehand, before they go on stage, the lighting guy whose name I've forgotten, he actually says like, "What about all the cues? All the cues to the other songs?" Like, no, look, you're gonna have to improvise. Yeah, I know you can do it. It's like, that doesn't really help me too much. In real life, you said like to an actual lighting technician, they will throw you out of the venue. Even though they lack the power to do that, they will find a way. Not a good idea. This is like seeing this for the first time. I'm so happy. Yeah, this is why we do blind reactions as well. We don't tend to pre-watch the stuff that we talk about on this channel. Or at least I don't. I don't know if Emily's seen this episode before. She probably has.
I haven't either.
Oh, even better. I wonder how they did this. Like, are these the actual voice acting, or did Rosie get professional musicians in this song? I think she got in contact with the band that made some of the other songs that she'd used previously, and the ones they'd already were the I guess the unofficial singing voices of Jake and Haley, and so it kind of aligned in that way. That being said, I can actually answer that question. Let me just look in the credits and see what happens. Jake is credited as the Peach God. Oh, okay, that makes it even better. The voice actor actually goes by the Peach God now. The Peach God at gmail.com. Sure. Why not? Okay, so yeah, John Becker, Veronica Bravo. Yeah. Fight for Me featuring Kristen's and Veronica Bravo. So Veronica Bravo is in both of the songs we've heard so far. And I guess, I guess that kind of makes her unofficially Haley singing in some way. And Jake gets a little bit of variation there. To Haley, it's so lovely. Yeah, like I said, they've had to have cued that beforehand. So if Jake hadn't showed up, that would have been terrible. But since that actually did work out, and also the purple hue as well. Purple lighting is actually quite rare in lots of stage venues, actually. Unless they have like LED park cans, they can actually control the color of, and those are a thing sometimes. I did try to use purple once, and I got dissuaded from doing so by the tutor, who said like it would look terrible. It's like, well, let's give it a try. We'll see what happens. Oh god, no, switch blue.
I won't waste any more seconds. Put the rock that I keep in my arms on the ground. It's weighing me down. The fearless side, always brave, even though I'm still afraid.
Okay, that was another thing where I love that, where it's just the way that she like surges forwards, like, but then she realizes like, oh wait, I can't move the all the equipment set. I've got to stay in this one spot. I can't like go crazy or something. You know how like a lot of like on the traditional bands, they'll in live settings they will try to like they'll move all over the place. They'll like crouch down to the audience or stuff, and then they'll be followed or whatever. When you've got preset stuff like this, you can't really do that, so you have to stay in one place. It's kind of like me when I did like a couple of live performances of some songs back in 2018. I showed those off recently in a video, by the way. I'm not going to show those again. But yeah, because I was filming myself, I couldn't go around and like walk amongst the tables that were in the venue. Also, because the microphone they gave me had a long cable, so I didn't want to like, tangle stuff up. That would have been even worse. So for those reasons, I had to stay still. But I had to try and keep the energy up, and also not filming any of the people in the crowd, just myself, which is not really that good. But anyway, people like those videos. The way the band is just coming Okay, slight thing about I like these silhouettes, by the way, which dang it, I thought that Aidan was the first one to do this. But in any case, yeah, the chains I would have said probably would have been better if like they were actually attached to the floor. They should be like flying upwards, actually, because if they break the chains that kept you to the floor, you think the chains would be tied to the floor rather than just like flowing from the sides of you and just breaking across into the side direction. They like are going up. Again, minor stuff. People don't know. The more that I like something, the more I nitpick things. So this is a good sign. I feel like that visual should have gone a bit further ahead. Like, oh look, that's Jake. When he's like doing his thing individually, that should have been the first crowd reaction rather than one here. Which, yeah, that is possible to change around, by the way, because I did at one point Aidan sent me a demo of the remake of Wings, and while that was going on, there was a couple of scenes where Wings, if you haven't heard the song, because again, some people are new here, it's an original song that I wrote for Fallen Angels, pre-existing track but original lyrics, so doesn't count to what I said before. But the track has a long as a long segment where it's just like like that, just very slow, and then it goes to dun 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 dun, you know, that kind of thing. And Aidan, what he did was he had one of the characters, you know, kind of like almost drunkenly dancing at the start, and then also a couple of crowd reactions, because I told him the original version actually had just nothing, so just like a full like zoom in for 24 seconds. So I said, like, yeah, reverse that. You need the person dancing when they're doing like the bit with the actual beat, rather than like beforehand where it's just like like that. That doesn't work. So yeah, sometimes you just swap around a couple of things and that can be preserved, rather than having to, most likely what we would have thought in this case would be you have to do it again. But no, not necessarily. Anyway, looks like she's sitting with her mum or sister, probably her mum. Yeah, it's difficult to portray age in Gacha characters, but I just more like a mum than a sister, honestly. Okay, you can hear the guitar riff like in the background as well. I can hear you hear like a bit of like the keyboard and then the guitar, and you so like Xander and Mill in that order. It's like, yeah, okay. My fears have been quelled. This is definitely, I'm glad we're at this point, because this is definitely the best song in the entire series up until this point, because it actually makes sense, it's diegetic, and it shows that there's actual attention and to detail, and it's it's an original as well. Fantastic. And yes, many are through narrative. That's mostly because visually it's difficult to portray that. That's what I mean. Yeah, you can definitely get context clues, and also when in the case of voice acting, you can usually tell the age a character is supposed to be by the performance that someone's giving, if they've been cast correctly, obviously, because you know sometimes you know. Like a lot of the time, like I think like my dad voice is something like this sometimes. I do this for a dad voice for Asgore a couple of times. I did that for one of Emily's videos. Or simply I just go a little bit lower or something like that. And that's another range of some kind, you know, give or take a couple of accents for dad characters. Or for bad boys, you know. For bad boys, I also go deep, but that's for a different reason.
Well, you can tell that's middle-aged mannish. Like you can't have someone go, "Hi, I'm 372 years old. I have 500 grandchildren." Like, you know, that doesn't work.
Video of trying to guess anime characters' ages. I'm a little baby girl. 0. I'm 1,000. Nope. But yeah, so yes, obviously depending on how that's done, and usually and usually with a decent sized cast, you can get a performance good. But sometimes characters that are just not cast appropriately, and it's very hard to tell what the person's going for. But you know, I will say one of the things. One of the things I was thinking was like I was hesitant at first to cast Adley as Julius because well, it's in the back of my head. I was going to do it, but in the back of my head I was thinking like, is this going to work considering that you know, he's significantly older than both of the actors playing Morwenna and Reina, who share the screen most of the time with him. But yeah, to be honest, one of my cousins actually you know, had a very fast puberty. So it's like, you know what? Fine, I'll just go by that logic. We'll just say that he hit it in a very early puberty, and we'll leave it at that. Prosy D mentions. Prosy D, who's that? Pretty well-known voice actor, and also for our purposes and on this channel, the voice of Kai in My Streets, but many other things too. That's just what people would know for talking about here. And I've run out of battery again. And I'm now coming back here. I was like, how do I keep running out of battery? Then I realized I've been streaming for 3 hours. Let's wrap this up, shall we?
There's nowhere to find.
man, all the Jaylee fans right now just seeing like that close up of them. So yeah, it's like, oh no, they're gonna kiss. No, they're not. Not gonna question.
I don't think I've heard a piano key once. What is Xander doing?
Yeah, I think like he has a keyboard to like a different setting of some kind or something. That's the one where I'm thinking like, okay, that's a bit of a strange comparison. But yeah, I did hear a couple of things like, yeah, that's definitely a keyboard set to like a different setting that's not an actual piano. Also, everyone in slow motion there. In slow motion, I like the fact that like everyone had their moments and they all seem like in slow motion, except for Millie, who seemed to be going in real time, implying that her guitar riff is so fast that, that in slow motion it looks normal, which doesn't work for this song. I can understand completely why Luke told her not to do that. But anyway, welcome back, Bon. You missed the best song in the series. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we did reach Starlight. In fact, we just heard it. Bon's like that one person who, you know, is like rushing to the concert and like gets there right at the end. It's like, I made it finally! Yay! Bravo! What a great performance that just wrapped up. Anyway, also good old director's cameo and possibly band cameo too. Not sure who those two are, but they might be the band. Oh yeah, now we get the classic anime thing of like playing the theme song in the last episode.
Oh my god, that's the worst thing.
Come on, tell me.
Oh, I guess they don't really establish the winner. I mean, in a sense, it doesn't quite matter, but it would have been.
I think
nice
there's after credits.
Okay,
I'm like
fine.
confident there's after.
All the things we couldn't see, all those moments we keep going on.
I'm glad I was not the only person who had to endure a recast for the long-running series.
Feel complete.
Via was such a good one. Haley, I love Via.
Come on, tell me.
Whenever I think of Via, I think of Viara because that's the nickname that the character and the creator had. Also, Bearpuff. Bearpuff actually made one of my favorite solo like gacha mini movies, or like gacha movies actually, and I did not realize this is where the connection was from because I saw rosyclosy in the credits of that video and I didn't connect like, oh wow, you know what, I guess it must be friends or something. Like, oh wait, no, that's why. That now I see the connection. But yeah, I will definitely show that video at some point, the Bearpuff one, because it is one of the ones I just watched on my own. I was like, okay, I need to comment on this one someday. It's probably shorter than this episode too, so it should be fine.
All the lies I should have seen, it's all over, and it was a world of make-believe. I gotta need to open up my mind. This kind of love it all.
Oh wow, Kam actually made it into the Music Freaks. I guess after making the video talking about it, hopefully rosyclosy told them that that this was not the first voice actor project, but what do I know? But hey, you know, congrats to Kamexry on that one, I suppose.
The memories we know, we gotta save them so.
That is true. That is quite surprising, actually. Although it's more surprising to us because obviously for like smaller characters, we would just cast the same people doing different voices. But yeah, I guess like ultimately when you think about the scope of like other shows that have a bit more of a reach, you would think, oh yeah, of course they're gonna hire more people. Again, not necessarily. You know, The Simpsons mainly has the same 6 voice actors doing all the voices, but that's another matter. Most of the time it is like this. And hey, a couple more shout out to Curie and JJ, or sorry, JV, Curie and the other person.
Tell me that you won't be here tonight.
Rosie's bank account. Hey, you know, each episode gets millions of views, so, you know.
Me after final break.
And yes, I too saw Not Zoe. I'm less shocked by that one. It's just because Comexry, I remember, like, you know, like first of all started off as like relatively unknown, then had like a meteoric rise, partly by talking about the Music Freaks specifically. That's why I singled them out specifically.
Please tell me that you
won't
be. Please tell me that.
Yeah. Millie's song in whatever episode that was, 5 or something. I still listen to Redemption.
I think that was episode 3, actually, or which episode Pink Head Demon was.
Yeah.
Did your previous comment appear? Let me just check what your previous comment was. Yeah, we're definitely wrapping up soon. No, I don't see your previous comment here, unless you're... Yeah, the last comment I see from you, Sense by Buns, is this one. Anyway.
You won't. Please tell me that you won't be. I really need to know.
And Gacha Club. Oh yes, Gacha Club I guess got used for some of this because when Gacha Club came out was roughly around the time that rozyclozy made the move to animation, so I wasn't sure how much was made in actual Gacha Club. Probably some of the newer character designs, the preliminary ones. The after credits are so good. Are they? Oh right. Oh okay. Sorry, I'm talking about All right, because I haven't seen that yet. Artwork last by Free Pick. There we go. Free Pick. You know,
no copyright sounds mentioned. NCS.
And Epidemic Sound too. Frequency Music, however, I have not looked into yet. That's the only one that I haven't used out of those ones. That one, that one might be like actual, traditional licensing of like everything. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, again, I single out Free Pick because it's one of those things that a lot of people don't realize that's the best place to find like other stuff. People say like, oh yeah, how are you going to be able to portray this thing? There's not a background for this thing here or something. It's like, well, it might not be a custom one to show off different 3D perspectives like you would normally think, but there are definitely some other pieces in here that are very, very useful. If you get the premium version, you don't have to credit all of them, and it's not expensive. Yeah, John Beck and Veronica, something. The voices for Jake and Haley and Starlight. Yeah, so yeah, John Becker is also the one who's singing this song, I believe, if these credits are are accurate. The old background noise, a preview background. Oh, you're saying that you're saying that I cut out. I just talked about like how good Free Pick is. Honestly, that was it.
Tell me that you won't be here tonight.
Classic. Of course, there's more. Oh, there's a cliffhanger, of course.
And say cheese.
Wait, that wasn't my good side.
Oh, okay. So they did win. Honestly, they could have in these competition series. There's always like the chance that they win or they lose. Ultimately, Jake got exactly what he wants. So I can see why it cut there. But it is nice to get that closure at least. It's nice to know which version they go with, even if it's not ultimately that important to the story. That's why I kind of mentioned it. Also, Drew is on a poster apparently. What is that about?
Do one more.
I don't think
Are you freaking kidding me,
wait,
Xander?
No, that's parallels of them as cringy wolf characters. Oh my god.
Okay.
It's Jake Haley and Drew in cringy wolf form.
Okay,
oh my
logistically, I'm going to have to really question that because in universe, why would that be a thing? Jake only just got over being seen as a freak for liking music. Are you telling me that in this world, musicians are seen as more freaks than furries are? Not saying that furries should be seen that way; they shouldn't. But I mean, just from a societal perspective, kind of an interesting
I'm coming for
difference.
You. Bon. Meet me in the bloody Asda's parking lot. You're done. You're done.
Wait, what did
You're
Bon
say?
I'm
sick of you.
Oh, that's something Emily would.
You're not fired.
Because wolves. That's why.
No. Bon, you and me. 30 minutes. out the back of Audi parking lot. Fight me.
My goodness, you're going to get mauled and clawed in wolf form. Anyway, Jake's hair is so neon yellow in that poster. Yeah, it's less of a peach and more of a lemon in that case. Yeah, Emily's too tired to notice. No.
Meet me at Pascali's. Nah, bro. Meet me at Little. Meet me at Little.
I think that was the Nerdy Prisoners Die reference, but yeah. The title on that poster said, "Not my Alf."
Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh.
that Emily wouldn't make, I don't think. The wolf thing, maybe, but not the alpha. Also,
that's Shorty's territory. They can have that.
Yeah, also, wolf characters having 4 ears. No. If you're going to make wolf characters cover up the human ears. Anyway, yeah, I got that reference, don't worry.
Hit 1 million already!
Don't exaggerate.
Honestly, Millie I can relate to here has been like, having to, but then again, mostly in my case, when someone takes a photograph, it's usually the photographer that wants multiple takes of something. I'm like, we just got one, okay? Put it on the family group chat. It's fine. No, despite being that complete opposite, she would never grab Jake and me like I'm the alpha. What do you mean, like you? Where are you in this situation, Kens? Is there something you're trying to tell us here? Are you secretly Drew or something? Does that say Alpha Witch Academy? No, it says All Alpha Academy. Can you imagine? I've been joking all this time about rosyclozy secretly watching The Mutant Girl, which is statistically very unlikely. But like, if Alpha Witch Academy got mentioned, that would have been. Also, All Alpha Academy the musical, I can see that being a thing. Why not? If one of the zombie sequels can have werewolves in them, I don't see why this one can't exist, I suppose. Go to see to my Father Day episode. It got 0 copyright material. That's much better because this video probably got claimed a long time ago. But yes, absolutely. I mean, I was going to pick one of your actual Send Spy Buns episodes, not necessarily your Father's Day ones. But hey, if you want us to start there, then I suppose we can start there. I'm currently on holiday, so I'm not doing as many streams as I normally do, but most of the time it's usually, usually every day that I tend to do these. But once we get back to July, I'll probably get back into the major swing of things bit by bit. Maybe not all at once, because that will just be like undoing all the relax that I've endured. I promise I'm not in the Music Freaks. But are you in All Alpha Academy? That's the real question. You're Alpha Drew. Also, missed opportunity here to make Drew an actual bear. That would have made a lot more sense, because he'd literally be Drew Bear then. Anyway. That one is Cantor's show. It's great to start there. Also, okay, it's great. So starting for something that's canon, but it's not the episode 1. Okay, fine. Sure. All right, then. Okay. All right. Okay. Sure.
Me, go show my mom and dad the trophy already!
Guys, don't break it already!
By the way, I liked the way that they had their shadows reflecting on the walls when they were up against it immediately.
Xander, give her the bloody trophy.
We have our own club room at the school, so we mainly just
disinterested, like, give her the trophy, Xander.
We practiced whenever we could.
Well, it's great to hear all your hard work paid off. Though there was a moment on stage where you seemed frightened. What happened?
Oh.
Honestly, that sounds like Apex.
Well, I'm not too good with crowds. It was a pretty scary...
Yes, you, a high school student. Yeah, you seem to be a little bit like panicked in front of a crowd of people, your friends and family, and also multiple strangers all staring at you, hoping you do a good performance. But tell me, why was that? Why were you afraid? Why were you worried? Why did it seem like that? Probably hormonal teenager of some kind. Do tell. I'm very curious. This never happened before. Like, what the heck? What was that line?
But I have really great bandmates who.
And also, was it just to get her to say she wasn't good with crowds? We knew that already. We've seen the series.
Me through it.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what's your singing partner like to work with?
Well, he's.
Oh my god, it's just next to ours. Maybe we can visit when you're famous.
Tell me when you're famous. Again, one of my favorite things about Music Freeze is the fact that we actually have legitimate background character lines. That's probably where all the other VAs came from, by the way. It's just like getting to do like background lines for this. Love that.
That was beautiful.
Proved, yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, hey, Haley. You come to say hello to our adoring fans?
Can I get a selfie with you?
No.
Yeah, just not hearing anything. Oh, well, because of the AirPods. Yeah, that's true. That's probably for like directions from the TV studio or something. Not the TV studio. It's not a TV thing. Probably. Seemed like a radio interview.
I've come here to drag you away.
Huh? Oh! Did you get jealous for my attention?
And here we go.
You know, if you weren't busy being so full of yourself, you would have noticed someone's been waiting for you.
Go on, please. Yes! Yes! The fact that Haley's rooting for him, and she's not just, being all weird about him, possibly wanting to date Daisy, which is a weird thing to emphasize in the previous episode. But yeah, like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever with, the Jaylee thing or yada yada, but at least, despite the fact that it was pushed so hard by the creator, at least this is an understanding of the fact that Jake actually still, from his perspective, he has liked Daisy from this point and potentially still will, unless it gets ruined in this scene, which I'm hoping it doesn't. But then again, there's a cliffhanger going on, so we'll see.
Hey, Daisy!
Jake, Haley, congratulations! I'm so proud of you guys!
Aw, thanks.
Thanks, Daisy. What did you think?
You were spectacular, Jake! You guys were just so cool on stage!
She thought I was spectacular and cool!
And this time he got it right. There we go. Oh, so backwards, so supposed to. Okay, fine. I'll do that.
Jake!
You as well, Haley. I can't believe it's already over, though. I'm gonna miss sneaking into your rehearsals.
Well, I'm sure our president has a lot more in store for us for the rest of the year.
You betcha I did.
Assuming Jake's let back in, so I mean, that's she can join.
Hey, I can't wait.
Well, I wish I could stay longer, but I'm sort of grounded right now. Congrats again, guys!
Thanks!
Hey, thanks for coming, Daisy!
As much as I said her parents probably are chill about something, they probably weren't cool with what she did as far as like, not getting permission to, for the whole announcement thing. So that part still makes sense. Although it would be good to meet her parents in the actual next season.
Well, someone seems to be oozing with confidence tonight.
The cliffhanger, Haley says, we're not letting you back in. We just needed to win the trophy. My goodness. Best twist since Nerdy Prudes. Anyway.
Night? You got enough to ask her out yet?
Uh-huh? Oh! Well...
Next season. Hey! Oh, suddenly it clicks for you, does it, Haley? About time.
Haley!
Millie, no!
Whoops!
And...
Millie!
I got it!
Is it still flying? It should have fallen by now.
That's not how gravity works.
Yeah, what? Hold on a second. Can we just... What in the laws of physics is going on here? It's perfectly level, not rising or falling at all. Isaac Newton does not approve of this scene. Anyway. More of a lift than Anna for. Anna got no lift. That's the point. she wasn't lifted at all. Well, I mean, she should have been because she had wings, but we're going to ignore that for now.
Oh, thanks.
I found him.
You cost us the trophies, even though one of our peoples abandons us. Rough him up, boys.
You should tell your fiery friend to be careful. She's lucky this didn't knock someone out.
Yeah, sorry about that. She's a bit impulsive.
She fell a hypotenuse distance. She fell diagonally down. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what I think that's what I said, wasn't it? About like the wings or something. They helped her like glide down, but they didn't slow her fall in the slightest. They jumped like that probably because he saw that in movies or something. I don't know. Of course, Millie threw the trophy. Yeah, so Millie's got a lot more to work on than just assessing the fact she has a crush.
Hey, Blondie and Blueberry! Congrats on first place! That duet was pretty sick!
Blueberry.
Hey, thanks! We were.
Now, I like the way she checks her hair after that. Again, sometimes it's the stuff that people don't say that really says more about them. A picture's worth 1,000 words.
They're pretty great.
Looks like you've improved a lot, huh, Jake? And you've still got your ambition to sing. I'm glad.
I thought that guy said "I'm Jake" for a second. Like it was going to be like the battle of the Jakes in the future.
I thought you were going to hold out an identity theft plot, like I'm the real Jake.
Oh my god! It is like School of Rock. The real Ned Schneebly shows up.
Yeah. What?
You know this guy?
I smell another ship between Jake and other Jake. What'll be the ship name? Jake.
No, I don't.
Jake.
Huh? Max?
Long time no see, Jakey.
The show continues. Please don't be his old bullies. Oh yeah, there were different old bullies, weren't they? Well, that's actually quite a good theory as to where this show could go, despite the fact that Aidan said it wasn't clear in the cliffhanger. And yes, you see what I mean? It's not a good cliffhanger. I mean, I'm going to come into the light for a second before we assess this. This fandom scares me sometimes because the ship's going to be a bit random, but to be fair, I made a lot of jokes about Jake gets fence and Jake gets microphone. Oh, don't worry. Emily and I, are aware of table Mao. So that was, that's what we've been used to. But also the fact that the creator does, in fact, encourage a lot of that stuff also with table Mao as well. That's usually kind of a thing as well. That a lot of the times they'll get like egged on. In the case of Aftermath, like going to backfire. So hopefully, if rosyclozy does go like in an unconventional way with the next season, that will not come back to bite her in any major way. Because at the moment, she's enjoyed unparalleled amounts of praise and support, which are deserved. But all things considered, there are many ways this could go, and usually in between seasons is the place where a lot of times there's people will start to see a difference between what they grew to love about something and then what comes next. So most likely people are going to think that season 2 is going to be better in some ways, or people are going to think it's like going to be the worst or the worst insult or something. And in either option, they could be right, but you're going to get people on both sides no matter what happens. We're on a concert that never happened. A concert that never happened? What do you mean a concert that never happened? Oh, sorry, FAFSA. Sorry, I thought you meant like this episode. Sorry, again, did the pin thing. My apologies. Okay. The Earth Spirits got to send to the... Yeah. Well, that's because that wasn't an ending. Again, to people who haven't seen FAFSA, which is Fame Freezer Spirit Academy, by the way, it's a series that was inspired by Music Freaks that was done by Misty Firefox. And but it also mixes elements of fantasy because it takes place in a world full of entirely spirits rather than humans. So everyone has some sort of form of elemental magic, mostly fire and ice. So yeah, that's so, and yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I'm just talking about the Travis Scott thing, because yeah, there was not Travis Scott himself that was the problem that got mentioned. There was what happened at one of his concerts that got mentioned as sort of like a side thing, and it wasn't really presented in a good way. That was the problem. But yeah, you want to see the highlights, new viewers? I need to start doing highlights of Gacha review streams. I'll just do like an adventurous moment or something where I'll just do. That should be a whole new avenue, actually, because seeing that people don't want to always sit through 3 hours of content to get through all of the good stuff. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm making making little series. Right now, it's not Gacha, but I got inspired by Music Freaks to make my own story. I mean, fair enough. I haven't seen it. Actually, you know what? That's good, because I haven't seen anyone specifically who mentioned that they were inspired by Music Freaks to make anything outside of Gacha. I guess technically me, because I did want to do my own Gacha musical at one point with original songs as a response to the Music Freaks, and then I eventually end up turning that into an actual stage show. So I guess I kind of made something inspired by Music Freaks outside of Gacha, but for the most part, no. So that first review that wasn't for. Oh yeah, okay. All right. Hold on. We're gonna get to season 1 as a whole. Well, I'll talk about my opinions on season 1 as a whole after we talk about the cliffhanger, I suppose. Because yeah, like honestly, now I've seen the cliffhanger, I don't think it's actually that bad. I mean, it's not fantastic or anything, but I mean, it shows that there's more people in Jake's past that he's got to deal with now that he's addressed everyone in his present. I mean, now that he's just when he thought that he was going to enjoy the closure that he received after going through his character arc and breaking free from the cycle of being trapped between 2 different friendship groups, and he finally found a place that he can actually properly express himself and be understood. Now there's a chance that that's going to become threatened, and he's going to end up being drawn back into his previous self in some sort of way. That's quite a common technique where someone goes through a character arc who's their main character, and there's a threat that they can end up regressing. A lot of time it's done for villains as well. If someone else introduces themselves, it's like, I'm not that person anymore, and I now must stop you. But it depends on the setting. So actually, yeah, that seems to be where this is going. Someone from Jake's past shows up, and they're most likely not going to be a good influence based on the framing of them alone. They're framed in such a scary manner. It really does seem like that's what's going to happen. How that's going to become the case, and what's going to exactly how that's going to be carried out remain a mystery, and that's the part we're supposed to think about as far as the in between time of the seasons goes, which is going to look like it's going to be quite some time, because the spin-off just came out today. So it looks like that's going to be addressed before the next season. But yeah, as far as the cliffhanger goes, I don't know what you lot are talking about. That to me felt all right. Nothing spectacular, but yeah, yeah. What can I say there? It seems like the stuff that people seem to not like, I enjoy, and those things that people unanimously agree are perfect, I find fault in. That to me seems to be like my summary of the Music Freaks as a whole, actually. If people want to know my thoughts on season 1 of Music Freaks as a whole, now that I've over the last 4 odd years or so, at different moments have gone through the series at times. I'm grateful that it exists, but I stand by what I said in the first episode, where it's definitely never going to be the absolute flawless masterpiece that people seem to be claiming it to be, because the story, despite the fact that it was an upgrade on a lot of what was that was going on in Gacha itself. Instead of, it still relies a lot on very seen school drama cliches and tropes, and not really in like that unique a way in some cases. Whereas a lot of Gacha at the time and still today had its own tropes. Rosyclozy went a more traditional route, and because of that, the Gacha audience seemed to see it as so much more original than they were probably presented with before, because they hadn't seen a lot of the stuff it was based on. There's so many references in here to stuff that people would not have known, especially if you're the average Gacha, the average Gacha enjoyer in the year 2020. On a technical level, again, it's not the first that did some of the stuff that actually it grew to be, but there's a reason rozyclozy became known for the smoothness of the editing. And for a time, at least, it truly was second to none. Nowadays, you get stuff like Unbounded and Rabbit's Hole that will that are contenders for the visuals alone. But truly, like the details and all the stuff that had to be like learnt overall, and the evolution from the one show, that stuff that you can't help but admire it, even when it does fall apart. And yes, it does in fact fall apart on multiple occasions. Yes, okay, some limbs attach unintentionally or things like that, so oh, sorry, you're talking about your own series here. This crazy man says my series is better than the best Gacha series on YouTube. did I hit my head? Well, I didn't compare it in this video, but I did say Secrets of the Plex does stuff better than Music Freaks sometimes on a technical level. Not necessarily all the time, but again, it wasn't just me who voted it above Music Freaks as far as the Gachas. That was one of your nominations, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Secrets of the Plex, for example, because of its unique setting and all the things you have to do in order to make it seem authentic to the source material, rozyclozy has yet to play around with anything to do with things like robots or trying to portray such like horror images to this particular degree. There's some other stuff that I could think like, okay, so some of the like the actual movements, the front facing and back facing, the way that the characters will turn, the custom backgrounds showing the different perspectives, that stuff is improved in Secrets of the Plex, and again, one of the things that drew me to the series in the first place. But it doesn't take away that some other things can do things better. This is what I was saying from the very beginning, that it's not perfect, and there are things that other shows can do better than this one, even if you think it is the best. But that's the thing, the favorite show of anything is always going to be overrated by its very nature. That's also saying it's bad, but when you put something on such a high pedestal and someone comes in and is like, well, this is, what are you talking about? It's going to stand out for those particular reasons. And that's ultimately what I've come to see right up until the very end, despite how much it evolved. Emily, what about you?
It's good. Like, sorry, I am so tired.
It's
okay.
all right.
Sorry, got my personality back. Sorry, I zoned out from tiredness. I forgot. Like, I didn't process we were on stream. I have to energy.
Yeah.
I remember when Mutant Freaks got sick.
Not the first time someone said that.
the Music Freaks like first came out, and oh my god, I was obsessed. I remember that very clearly. For about I was obsessed with the first 4 episodes, the Gacha Life ones specifically. I'd watch them over and over and over again. And I'm not sure exactly what got me so unmotivated to watch them, because I never even watched the finale or anything, which was surprising considering I was like watching the premieres and stuff for this show. Like, and it's a good series. I'm not really sure why. I just remember that very vividly.
Well, if we go back to what Aidan said when because like for context, when I started reviewing these on the Butter Bunch with the Butter Bunch, episode 4 was the most recent episode at the time, and BB and I hadn't seen the show yet, and Aidan and Shorty had seen all of them and were, they were the ones really like, laying into us constantly whenever we brought up like a single solitary thing wrong with the show. But then that sort of changed, at least for Aidan anyway, when episode 5 came out. I think that was really when the story cliche started to show themselves, because you can say to yourself like, okay, this is there's some unique aspects here in the sense that Jake is actually having to like help one member of the club at a time in order to like help himself in some way. We learn more about the actual different members each time. But as soon as you get like that romance drama in there, that leaves a sour taste in people's mouths, especially if you're aware of that romantic cliche to begin with. And then, of course, it took a while for the episodes to really pick up again. I think personally that, yeah, episodes 1 through 4, again, they're the ones that I've said, like, some of the stuff makes no sense whatsoever, but that's kind of par for the course with anything that we've watched on Gacha Review. And then, but actually most of it was fairly solid. Then episode 5 kind of like trailed off. It's sort of like a My Street season now I think about it. Episodes 6 and 7, that there were kind of like a bit of like a neutral thing. It was like, well, I mean, there's something missing here. It feels like a lot of this, maybe once the animation came in, the story kind of took a back seat because it suddenly was not the big thing everyone was talking about. Everyone talks about the visuals, the music freaks nowadays, more so they do the story, I think. Unless you're like really into the fan base and you're already invested in the characters to begin with, by the time you've seen those early episodes. But yeah, for me, it picked up again, bizarrely enough, around the same time everyone started complaining with like the episode 9 plot point, because I said before, but I relate a lot to Jake in that instance, having been like in between two best friends that I had in the past, and they hated each other's guts. So whenever I was with one of them, they would complain about the other, or they wanted to like use my time or something, draw me away. I think I actually legitimately like did get almost like pulled by the arms at one point, which again is how I know that you hold them on 2 different ways. But yeah, full circle. So like the idea of like having 2 entire different groups of people who have legitimate reasons to despise one another, that you've been a part of in both cases, and only further antagonize them, that to me is the most unique aspect of the Music Freaks as a whole. Forget all that other stuff. That to me was like that's the part that I was really curious about, and that persisted up until now. Of course, there's the music competition as well, and the fact of the songs and everything. So, but yeah, in order to get to that point, you have to go through those middle episodes, and outside of people, like us that want to review everything, not everyone is willing to do those things. Plenty did, don't get wrong. Each episode has millions upon millions of views, but that's not the case for everyone. And there's definitely going to be people who are like, well, I'm already invested, so I want to see how this ends. Other people who are like, well, these visuals are enticing enough for me to stay, but there's something wrong. So yeah, there's enough to go around. It didn't feel like there was enough for me to go around at the time. It felt like I was going to be torn in half, but yeah. But I think that was really why you probably stopped watching, because you stopped being interested in the actual story. And like I always say, when you have to pick between visuals and story, always pick the story. Doesn't matter how many bells and whistles you put, or whether or not a friend of yours says, hey, you could do this in animation, and then you get like the immense praise for it. It's ultimately not going to be the best trade-off, even for your own mental health, as was the case with rosyclozy that we saw in that other video. I guess the last thing to mention, of course, as well, as a musical, it's had its ups and downs too. I got into like the idea of like how the formula for the early seasons of the early episodes worked, with the songs being about like each person in some way, even though the lyrics didn't match entirely. There were some outliers like Seasons, for example, that really did actually tie in their own stories. And like I said, the bass drops actually worked in those early instances. And then as they tried to persist, they sort of became held back. As soon as the story had to go in any other direction than it was already set up to be in, it was held back by what it was already supposed to be, which rosyclosy did actually say was an issue. Having to do like a musical number for every single episode held the series back. And of course, that was such an intrinsic part of its branding that you couldn't do much about that. Something as well, it's not even the first Gacha musical. Bear in mind, doing musical numbers in Gacha is a tradition as old as Gacha itself. It just wasn't perfected yet. That's really what the Music Freaks ultimately is. This is stuff that might have been done before in certain ways, but wasn't perfected yet, on top of a few sprinkled in aspects of originality in amongst a sea of cliche. I think that's the best summary for season 1 that I can possibly give. Okay. I'm just going to give another quick check in the chat. There's mentions of Maddie that I'm going to ignore for the time being. Oh yeah, talking about later stuff. I watched TMF when it was in Gacha Live until the end of the season 1. I wasn't aware that it was getting a different animation and a stroke when episode 5 came out. Ultimately, yeah, I will say that would have been a good big surprise for everyone. Aidan kind of, ruined that for me because, that was back in the day when Aidan couldn't say stuff as spoilers. So for the upcoming episode, talking about perspectives, I made the whole sets from the ground sector perspectives will be fruitful. Look out for it's coming very soon. See? That again, Singles of the Plex, a reason to be excited about, other animated Gacha projects, because there are other things out there that people may or may not prefer to Music Freaks. Ultimately, someday I will return to the Gacha musical I was going to do and make it into an actual Gacha thing, because I feel like that's something that's like I need to get that closure by having that in Gacha form as well as on the stage. But for now, this is what we have as far as the best example of a Gacha musical, even if it's not a perfect one. So I think that's that. Thanks everyone for enjoying this particular journey. So please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you're on the Butter Bunch, doubly subscribe because we need you there more. Cliff Jacob called my story better than TMF at times when it's tied to a game he's never played, which ultimately cements how good the story actually is. That the fact that I ended up being absorbed into it despite not playing the source material. Then again, any sort of fan story is more coherent than FNAF is at this point, so that's already going to be an upgrade. Whatever. All right then. Now, for real this time. On that note, until next time.